And welcome back to McClung Memorial Stadium here in Columbus, Georgia. Beautiful afternoon for football, not a cloud in the sky. This is the way they're supposed to play football each and every day. Then again, there's some folks up north said I like a little bit of cold in my football. But this is a beautiful day here. It's Tuskegee, who comes into today's contest 2-3 overall, 1-2 in the SIAC. Still feels as if they can continue winning and get a little help from some of the other teams in the conference. They may have an opportunity to sneak back in for that conference race. Morehouse really struggling in conference play, yet to win a ball game at 0-3, but this would be a huge win. You know, they say sometimes when you got rivals in a football game, you throw the records out the window. That is what they've been saying to us all week long.
Definitely, this is one of those kind of games where you're going to see a lot of hitting, a lot of hustling, extra diving for balls because of the simple fact that it is such an awesome rivalry.
Morehouse won the toss, elected to defer, kicking off, and that's Harry Williams back deep. They faked the reverse, and Morehouse was all over it. 10-yard return. Well, the most important thing for Tuskegee is to make sure that they hold on to the football. A couple of weeks ago, on our air, we saw Tuskegee on the very first play fumble the football. That was Cortland Florence with the fumble. And Isaac Hilton from Hampton University picked it up, and Hampton from there on cruised as they won 53-0. Since then, this club has lost yet another game to Albany State, but would really like to turn things around as you get a good look at Ralph Gordon, the junior from Decatur, Georgia, who has completed 34% of his passes coming in. I formation on 1st and 10. Gives it to the deep back. That's Cortland Florence. Now time to take a look at our starting lineups brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are true Budweiser. Your offensive line, Williams, Chapman, Bailey, a lot of experience, Matthew Lowry and Charlie Thornton up front. Meanwhile, your wide receivers and backs, Irvin gets the start. Swanigan is a young man at the fullback position. And again, the wide receivers are very exciting. Williams, Brown, Spencer, Henderson. A lot of guys that can get the job done on the outside. But again, Tuskegee really has had problems establishing any kind of offensive flow over the past couple of weeks and taking a lot of pressure forward. Second down pass is incomplete. It was intended for Harry Williams. It was overthrown. Now taking a look at our starting lineups on the defensive side, brought to you by Budweiser. They call him Killer Kilpatrick. He is on one defensive end, one of my homeboys from D.C. with Nelson Bailey and Adrian Johnson up front. Your linebackers look like this. It is Andre Warren in the middle. They say Andre Warren is one of the most intense linebackers and maybe one of the best in all of Division II football. Maynor and Allen are very solid, but Scott also very experienced, can play safety or corner. They have him at the corner to start things off. Third down situation now for Tuskegee. Gordon gonna roll, Gordon gonna throw, and the pass is again incomplete. A little too high for his receiver to handle, and so that'll start things in motion for a punt, as James Lewis was the intended receiver.
Yeah, and Ralph Gordon, both those passes seem to have sailed on him. I don't know whether or not if it's a situation where he's not being able to set his feet or he's just a little bit nervous. The ball could obviously be slick as well, so we're going to have to see how that goes along and plays throughout the course of the game. Travis
Gums will go back to punt the football. Gums, he's averaging 42 yards per punt. Ravenel Dupree is the man deep, and this one by Gums is a good punt. It drives him all the way back to his 29-yard line. Still on his feet, picks up a couple of yards, Dupree, with the return. A 49-yard punt, an 11-yard return, and so it'll be Morehouse taking over 1st and 10 when we get back. And welcome back. 1st and 10, Morehouse wasting very little time as DeJuan Burton is your starting quarterback, the sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina, and immediately they give it to the tailback, John David Washington, the sophomore from California. Let's take a look at our Budweiser starting lineups. And offensively for Morehouse, Kramer, Wooten, in. Ross Thompson is your center, just a freshman. Ronald Richards and Michael Ray Robinson on the outside. He, too, is a freshman. 3 freshmen, in fact, on that offensive line. John David Washington is your tailback, the son of course, the great Denzel Washington. And, of course, he has done everything on his own, has asked for nothing, and with runs like this has proved to his teammates and everybody around him that he, quite frankly, gets it done as he picks up good yards on that one, close to another first down. Here's your defensive line: Knox, Williams, Vince Babin, and Brumball. They say Williams is really a diamond in the rough. They've been waiting all year long for him to come back from injury. He's finally back. Also back is Nate Jones. He's been injured over the past couple of weeks. He is solid in the middle. Ramon Nickerson is somebody you've got to watch. They call him the spark plug on this defense. 3rd down now and 1 for Morehouse. Again, with no wins in conference play. Just 1 overall all season, but a win in this one would be huge. Delayed handoff. There goes Washington, still on his feet, finding some room. He's at the 20, still on his feet as he gets inside the 15-yard line, finally driven out of bounds at the 12-yard line. A 40-yard pickup for J.D. Washington.
Yeah, look at this excellent blocking by the offensive line. You just see the seal, and it will give an opportunity for J.D. to go right up through the hole. Excellent, excellent push and drive. He's not even worried about being touched until he gets into the secondary, and great moves. Again, we talked about his elusiveness. He is a very elusive runner and can make guys miss in the open field. Great open field running.
From the looks of things, there was a penalty on the play because it looks like they're bringing this one back. They say that J.D. doesn't have a lot of speed. A running back you played with back in the day sort of reminds a lot of folks of a guy you played with.
Doing the run, 10-yard penalty. First down.
So the penalty will bring the football back, but again, I was saying, not blazing speed, but a very smart run.
Very smart, very effective. It reminds me of a guy named Amp Lee, played at Florida State. He played with me when I was with the Minnesota Vikings, and just really, very, very deliberate with his reads and his line. But when he gets into the line and gets into the secondary, just has that ability to make guys miss. J.D. reminds me a lot of Amp Lee.
Tremendous vision. Delayed handoff this time on 1st and 10. This is Lamario Mack. Mack on his feet inside the 5-yard line. They come right back with another back, and Henry Blackman brings him down, but not until he picks up big yards on that run for a first down, a 37-yard pickup.
Mack did a magnificent job. A little delayed draw again, looking at just the great vision of these runners, taking it up the field. Great job of making guys miss again and using that speed. He had a very good burst through that offensive line. Good run by Mack.
A versatile player in Mack, who not only runs the football well, but also receives the ball well. Last year, he was the second leading receiver on the team. Washington on 1st and goal. And they're going to lose a couple of yards on that one. 2 yards to be exact, as the defense was not fooled. And you can see coming up to make the play, Ramon Nickerson, as I said, the sophomore from Phoenix City. Phoenix City right across the river. So you know he's looking to have a good football game in this one. 5 plays, 5 runs for Morehouse. You said it at the top. The running game is uno number 1, though they have some real good receivers on this team.
Oh, yes, they do, and hopefully we'll be able to talk about those guys today.
2nd and goal. Again, a little spin by Washington, still on his feet. Finally brought down close to the 1-yard line.
One of the good things they said about Washington is that he's always falling forward. You rarely see him get any negative kind of yards. When he gets tackled, he's falling forward.
Carlos Leggins with the takedown.
Again, look at how he allows himself to set up. And great spin move, just understanding where the defense is going to be. And again, look at that falling forward for positive yards.
Averaging 10 yards per carry as they run the ball 6 times for 60 yards. 3rd down and goal. Power formation this time. Quarterback Burton keeps it himself, a big kid at 6'5", 235 pounds, and give them 6. So Morehouse strikes first thanks to the quarterback sneak by their sophomore from Charlotte.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about just powering off the line. Again, this line takes pride in what they do. They recognize when we're going to run the football, hey, well, then we're going to go out there, we're going to show you what we're all about. They're very, very physical. Great job of pushing the power forward for its for a touchdown.
Procedure. You had a flag on their illegal procedure. Charge to Morehouse. So they're going to back them up on the PAT.
just trying to cut in and they go in.
False start. Proud to the snap.
Going to make it a little tougher for Byron Archibald, the senior from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, their kicker. As you get a good look at Willard Sissom in his second season at Morehouse. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Morehouse now in the lead by the score of 7-0. And as we said at the top of the show, I mean, this is an important game for Morehouse, more so in the fact that they'd be knocking off a team that they felt last year they should have beat. This is a long-standing rivalry. And time for our coach's quote, brought to you by Pontiac, Fuel for the Soul. And the coach talks about the importance of the rivalry, and it's not lost in today's matchup.
It's Harvard, Yale. It's Army, Navy. It's Alabama, Auburn. It's big. This is our version of a long-running rivalry. Both schools are very prestigious. Both schools have a tremendous reputation and just a huge image to uphold. They do a great job of giving young people a quality education, and the historic backgrounds of both schools are so historic that it's important to all the alumni to have something to brag about athletically.
One's up on the up. I know the Morehouse alumni, even though they're 1-5, you know, they want this game, and they'll be satisfied with this game if they didn't win another game. You see, and I'm not saying that coach feels that way on their team or not, but I do know there's a lot of alumni that feel that way, and there's a lot of alumni on Tuskegee's part that this is the only game they want. You know, and even though we share different feelings about the game and how we want the seasons to be, this is a big game for both universities.
That, of course, was Rick Comagene, who is the second all-time winningest coach. And to become the second all-time winningest coach, he had to pass Haywood Sissom, who happens to be Willard Sissom's uncle. Great history and stories here between these two teams. And here comes Tuskegee on the return, and a big-time return by number 84, Harry Williams. A 38-yard return on the kickoff. And so now Tuskegee should have good field position. Ball's marked at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
Coach Sissoms has to be happy with that last drive. He did a tremendous job of doing some great play calling. He mixed it up there with Washington and Mack. Both big plays. It had some penalties, but it didn't seem to bother them.
He walked up. Okay, look, you still got the time. So here we go, 1st and 10. Ralph Gordon again is your quarterback. Transfer from Morris Brown. 1st and 10. Gives it to his back. Launch Irvin. Irvin gets away from one tackle. A second one and takes it inside Maroon Tigers territory.
Tough run by Irvin right there. That's a great job of just his vision, and watch his stiff arm right here. You talk about, you know, just getting some extra yards. Get off me is what he's saying. Let me go ahead and get some positive yards. Great job, great tough run.
Ryan Harris, just a freshman. Welcome to college football. After getting stiff-armed on that play.
You know, Lawrence Irvin, it's amazing. When you start running the ball like that, it does give your offense a kind of infusion that it needs. And I think right now Tuskegee needs this drive to be a positive one.
7-yard pickup, 2nd down. This time, nothing doing as he comes through the middle, and he's met by Robert Kilpatrick, the defensive end. Kilpatrick, they call him the sack master, all SIAC the past 2 seasons.
Robert definitely is one of those guys who you just want to have on your team, and you don't want to be facing week in and week out. He's definitely a tough-nosed guy. And one of those guys that defensive ends, it's rare to see, not only plays the pass well, rushing the quarterback, but also plays the run very well. And that's sometimes a rarity on the defensive line, to see a guy who does it both. The great ones do. A timeout now on the field, and Morehouse, as we see a flag's been thrown down there at the 33. So we're kind of waiting to see if the officials will work this. Well, they will. Not if they will, but when they will. 3rd down. This is a big 3rd down for Tuskegee.
Oh, yeah, now they're going to make it a first timeout. He didn't give us a timeout. Okay, can you check to make
5-yard penalty.
Well, I think what happened was they had 12 men on the field, so they were trying to call timeout before the penalty, but got it anyway, assessed, so they give up the first down.
Let's go.
As Gordon goes in shotgun formation. And they're going to run the option. And a good play defensively by Morehouse as they come up and shut things down. Devin McKnight was the first guy to get there and slow the runner up, and then got some help from the linebacker.
Yeah, and Coach Sism's, one of the things he feels with his defense, he recognizes they're not the biggest defense as far as size, but they love playing with a lot of speed and intensity. He wants these guys flying around the field, and he wants to make sure they understand their assignment. Very assignment-oriented football.
And that play right there lost 3 yards, making it 2nd and 13. You can feel the intensity coming from the sidelines. Again, this is a huge game between these two teams. 2nd down now. Gordon going to throw the quick out pass and complete it to Kenneth Henderson, the junior from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Robert Harris is the man who came up and made the tackle.
Again, you see a guy in open field like that and doing a great job of making sure and securing the tackle and not allowing extra yards to get a first down.
So 3rd down situation now for Tuskegee, and you talk to the coaching staff, the assistant coach, the offensive coordinator of this team, James Woody, told me, he says, listen, the one thing we've got to avoid are these 3 and outs. These 3rd and longs are killing us. It's 3rd and long here. On the run, throws it, pass is complete to the wide receiver. And that was Harry Williams with the catch. Alfonso Dunston was the man out there to make the stop. And he's going to be short of a first down, bringing up 4th.
Yeah, and here Ralph just tries to get outside the pocket, you know, a little roll out to the corner, trying to make sure the receiver actually didn't get up enough, whether or not he got his proper depth, because if you're going 3rd and long, you want to make sure you get enough yards to get tackled for the first down. Did not do that.
It was nice to see Dunston. He was the defensive end on that play. His pursuit took him to the secondary as he made the tackle. Dupree back to receive the punt. Going to bounce out of bounds inside the 10-yard line at about the 5. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Morehouse after the 32-yard punt. We'll have more after this. And welcome back to another Southwest Airlines presentation of Black College football. Morehouse Tuskegee from Columbus, Georgia. George Johnson along with Tajri Ismail and the rest of our BET crew. Morehouse struck early, has a 7-0 lead and the football, but they're deep in their own territory. On 1st down, handing it off to Washington. And he's going nowhere. The defense comes up large. That's Antonio Knox, the defensive end, who makes the stop.
Yeah, and Tuskegee, I think what they're trying to do is allow this great field position to remain great field position by stopping him, hopefully getting a 3 and out.
Keep in mind, we're going back-to-back with college football here on BET. Next week, it's the CIAA live as we bring you North Carolina Central taking on Winston-Salem State. That's at 7 o'clock. And that, again, will be live. So, Kadri, you can't make any mistakes. You're going to have to be good. And make sure you remind me, too.
I'll be fumbling, stumbling, fumbling.
On the rollout, the pass is complete to the wide receiver. That's Corey Russ with the catch. And actually, that was Aaron Epps coming out of the backfield to make the catch. The junior from Aiken, South Carolina, a fullback who went from linebacker to running back and has done a good job since making the transition. In fact, they never think of him as a linebacker anymore.
Well, it's interesting because normally you don't see a guy like Epps go from a non-catching position to a catching position. Usually it's the other way around, and that shows just how good of a receiver he is.
3rd down, though, and long. Pass over the middle. Pass is complete to Raymond Johnson, the junior, Lithia Springs, Georgia. And they're going to move the sticks with that 1st down reception.
Yeah, and Raymond Johnson, again, you know, he did a great job of getting his depth on his route. He's the team's leading receiver and does a good job of making sure he gets his proper depth and comes back to the football, being really aggressive, making sure that no one breaks up that pass.
Well, that's what they were telling you yesterday, is that Johnson is the one guy who makes all the big-time catches for this football.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is that he's just a stud athlete, and they really, really like how he just goes about his business. And if they need a big play, they go to him.
4 first downs for Morehouse, and they're looking for more. Big time catch right there by Ravenel Dupree, just a freshman from Atlanta, Georgia, but boy, did he go up and get it. Look at the smile on the receiver next to him. 35-yard pickup, Kadri.
I tell you what, look at him stay in the pocket. Burton does a great job of making sure, hey, I know I'm going to get hit, but I'm releasing the football anyway, setting his feet, throwing it, and just look at this tremendous grab by Dupree. Unbelievable concentration, knowing that there's a defender there, but did not care, and only a freshman. Ooh, I like when freshmen make plays like that because they just get better and better with age.
He came in the leading receiver on this team with 24 catches, getting 25, and 25 was spectacular. 1st and 10, though, and the defense picks it up a little bit as they slow down Washington trying to get to the outside. Your safety man, Nickerson, is the one who came up and initiated things.
Yeah, and I tell you what, going back to the Morehouse style of offense, I know that they're a running team, but their coaches really, just every time I asked them about their receivers, they had this big smile across their face. They really like this group with Johnson and Dupree and Russ. And really, they just do a great, tremendous job of Thompson, Pittman, Rochester. They have such a tremendous amount of talent at that receiver position, and it's just a matter of time before Burton gets more and more mature as a quarterback so he can utilize his talent.
2nd down and a whistle before they get things going. So we'll have to stop and see what the officials saw and what they didn't like. When you think about Morehouse, here's a team that is
Prior to the snap, delay a game, 5-yard penalty.
that'll make a coach very hot. Although sometimes those delayed games are because it didn't get in quick enough.
That's right.
I've learned that sitting with you.
Get back.
The offensive coordinator sometimes
Get him back.
he wants that perfect play and does not get it in on time.
See, this is roll, coach.
Love having the microphone on both coaches. Guys here at BT doing a tremendous job, our crew. Here we are on 2nd down, and Lamario Mack tried to get to the outside, and that turf slowed him down a little bit.
I get the feeling with this rivalry that, you're going to look at these big explosive plays, but then at the same time, I think the defense is going to settle down and then kind of reverse the tides, if you will.
3rd down now for Burton. Big arm quarterback, as you've already seen. Coaches love him. He makes great decisions. Gonna have to make one here on 3rd down. Over the middle, and the pass was intended for Mario Mack, or actually intended for Corey Russ, number 6.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it looks like Corey Russ and Burton might have not been on the same page, and it looks like they thought they were going to go to the post, but actually I think Burton was expecting him to go on a 9 route. Of course,
a 9 route. Now let him know. You see the 9
I'm about
route.
to say, of course, a 9 route is a go. You're just going straight down the field as straight as you can, whereas a post, you're actually taking it towards the end or the middle of the field towards the goal post.
Okay, now everybody said thank you, Patrick.
The vernacular of a receiver, just sometimes get, all right, just run a 9 route.
Just run a 9
Just
route.
run a 9. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Just run a 9.
And if you don't, why are you here? 4th down and long. So back to punt for Morehouse. It's going to be Archibald.
The game is going on. Not to do that. That is against the rules.
Hey, they're tough on the side,
Let's go, son.
Might have had
First
some
punt
fan
for Morehouse.
interference there.
Well, actually, what they're saying is the music is a little too loud coming through. I'm trying to figure out who they had there on the music. They were coming through the PA system. I told you this is a big-time party. Now, the bands can make some noise.
Actually, the band is not allowed.
But you can't have
it during the play of the game.
But they had Freakazoid going. They had Freakazoid going. You can't play Freakazoid during the football game. 4th down. High booming punt. Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. So that's where Tuskegee will take over 1st and 10 after a 27-yard punt. They trail by 7. And welcome back. 1st and 10 for Tuskegee. Gordon, pump fakes, got a receiver, bites out from behind everybody. Pass is complete. It's going to be a touchdown. Kenneth Henderson got behind everybody on the pump fake, and that one goes for 75 yards and 6. It was a beautiful pump fake by Ralph Gordon.
Unbelievable. Great job. I mean, the first series he kind of was throwing a little bit high. I think Coach Kamaji was like, all right, if you're going to throw it high, well, we're going to give you something to throw high too. Threw a beautiful spiraling ball down the middle of the field. That's a post route down the middle of the field and just hit Henderson in stride. Tremendous job of looking off the defenders, and you can just see speed kills, and Kenny Henderson just ran right by the defender, Chad Allen, on that play.
And look at how Henderson celebrates his first touchdown of the season with a little nesty plunge. The PA is up and the PA is good. So we're all tied up at 7 apiece. Thanks to the 75-yard touchdown play from Ralph Gordon to the junior Kenneth Henderson.
Let's go, somebody call for the fumble. Make him call for the fumble.
Well, time now for our block of the day, sponsored to you by Earthlink. Get the internet you want, the block, all the stuff that you don't. Once again, it's time. And last time on the Block College football broadcast here on BET, the Rattlers FAMU brought their high-powered O into the C-squared Classic. The Jackson State's Hungry Tigers eagerly waiting. The battle up front was intense, as expected. Lasted for the entire ball game. As you get a peek inside of the inside play between the Rattlers and the Tigers. This is Earthlink's Blocks of the Day. And once again, our Blocks of the Day sponsored by Earthlink. Get the internet you want and block all the stuff that you don't. And there you see Kenneth Henderson. Took one play, 75 yards, a total of 11 seconds, and Tuskegee is back in this football game, all tied up at 7 apiece.
Yeah, I tell you what, when you talk about rivalries, again, it does not matter what goes on the week before. This is all brand new right here. Very, very great job of calling, number one, calling the play and then executing it, especially after some of the things that had happened as far as the inconsistencies on offense. I think that that was a big confidence builder for Ralph Gordon to be able to not only have the play called for him, but then to be able to execute it and score.
Great pump fake by Gordon, the junior from Decatur. Well, now Morehouse going to try to answer. And then on the return, getting good yards. And the return man was Ruben Dupree. Nice to see Ruben Dupree out there. So the return now comes out to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, 28-yard return. Morehouse behind DeJuan Burton. And they really have done a good job, Morehouse, at least early on in this football game. Of course, they gave the football up thanks to a couple of penalties, but mixing the running game and throwing the football, they've done a good job with that. This time they give it to Epps, the junior from Aiken, South Carolina. Epps picks up a couple of yards on the play. 2nd down now, and it'll be 2nd and 5 actually. Rick Kamaji, the head coach of Tuskegee, in his 8th season, 66 wins, as I said. He has 4 SIAC titles to go along with it. 2nd down. Epps carries, tries to tightrope down the sideline, gets close to a 1st down.
3rd and short.
Looks like Epps did a good job of making sure he followed his blockers up the sideline. It looks like it's going to be a 3rd and short.
Epps, again, the fullback. Most of the hype surrounds John David Washington, number 33. Washington's been known to change his numbers a couple of times. When your pops is Denzel, you're trying to establish and make your own name, your own identity. You do whatever it takes, and he's done a good job with that. But here on 3rd down, instead of going to the back, the quarterback Burton decides to hold on to it. They push the stack back a couple of yards for the 1st.
3rd and short, those are those situations where you just want to have a big O-line and O-line can just go ahead and just be real nasty and push guys back and just, big old heavy guys, and that to me, I really like that. And that sets the tone. O-linemen, they like pass blocking, but give us a chance to go ahead and establish ourselves as just big, dominant, run blocking, knock your block off, kind of guys.
Do they get mad when you call them big uglies?
No, they like that.
They like big uglies.
Oh yeah, they like that.
Big uglies.
Don't put us out there as far as our names and all like that. We're one unit working together. Just we're rough.
Burton on first down completes his pass to Raymond Johnson, who comes back and then picks up about 15 yards on the play until he's brought out of bounds by Musa.
Yeah, and again, one of the good things about Burton that we're talking about, he does have a big, strong arm. He does set his feet well. And if his first read is there, he's going to take his first read and be very accurate with the throw. And, of course, you're looking at Raymond Johnson and these guys. These are some experienced receivers and really explosive receivers. And I think that as he gets more and more comfortable with it, they're going to be a very dangerous offense.
Will they get the first down at the 45? This time they give it to Washington. Washington picks up solid yards again. Finally brought down by Antonio Knox. Well, he's following his blocks, huh?
Yes, he is. He's doing a tremendous job of just being patient. Look at this, a little draw again, but look at the offensive line firing out. He's not getting touched until he gets at least 3-4 yards past the line of scrimmage. That's a great job again. I give my props to JD, but at the same time, you got to give some props to his O-line. They're doing a good job of firing off the ball.
8 carries. 9 carries after this one. Again. Oh, this time he drops the football. And there goes Big Boy. Rumbling. That's Montrese Terry. And Terry had a notion. I don't know if the notion was going to come to fruition, but he showed him picking up and was trying to go the other way.
Yes.
But again, unable to hold on to the football, the running back, Washington, he fumbles, and it's recovered by Montrese Terry.
Yeah, and again, I think one of the things that could be a blessing and a curse. Here you see him trying to get some vision up the field, but then at the same time, you're trying to do a little bit too much. You recognize you're trying to make a spin move, make a guy miss. Another guy comes along, and Big Boy just picks up the ball and rumbles down the field.
Meanwhile, Daniel Kramer's the man who brought him down. Offensive linemen always want an opportunity where they can do a little tackle themselves, especially on the man who's been beating them up on the defensive side.
No doubt about it.
1st and 10, balls at midfield. Tuskegee with a great opportunity here. And now Gordon's feeling it and completes the pass for another first down. See, that's what you need. You get that one big play, and now you're sitting in that pocket, and you start to find the receivers. This one complete to Kenneth Gordon.
Yeah, I think literally Gordon, as he gets better, I mean, that's a little slant route, but do you see how he was accurate with that? Again, we talked about earlier earlier in the game where he was throwing it a little bit high. I think his confidence is starting to get more and more together and get more and more in the rhythm, and his accuracy is showing for it.
So here we are now, 1st and 10. Going back to what I was just saying, I mean, does that permeate throughout the whole team when you make a big play like that, 75 yards, your O-line looks at you, we knew you'd be the man. Your running backs, is that the kind of thing that happens on the sideline?
Absolutely. You're looking at an opportunity to be the team's leader, and when you have a guy like Gordon who they were struggling a little bit and come up with a 75-yard touchdown.
Ball. Crowd to the snap. False start. 5 yards.
Literally, it just infuses you and recognize that, hey, man, I think I can play this game. It settles him down. He goes back to the sideline. Instead of worrying about mistakes, he's starting to think more about his mechanics and what he can do to make better throws. And literally, it just permeates through the entire team.
Again, we're down here in Columbus, Georgia. Ralph Gordon. Look at the numbers, 4 of 6. This is a guy that completed just 34% of his passes coming in. Now he's pumped. He's throwing on the run. Uh-oh, picked off. And back to make the interception was the defensive back, Chad Allen, his 2nd of the season. And the junior from Baltimore, Maryland, squashes any efforts by Tuskegee on that drive.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ralph is going to want that ball back. Chad Allen did a good job. But now, at the same time, again, there's a little roll outside the pocket. He actually had his receiver open down the field, but the pressure got to him. And I think he just underthrew that ball because the receiver was clearly behind Chad Allen. Right here, Chad is not deeper than the deepest. Good job being aware as far as making the interception, but at the same time, you got to be a little wary because now, as I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm saying, okay, Chad Allen, those guys, they're kind of squatting. I think we can get by them deep again. I'm going back to Gordon saying, listen, I have confidence in you. I'm going back there. We're going to throw it deep. Set your feet next time. Make a good throw.
So 1st and 10 for Burton. Burton's pass is incomplete. It was intended for his back coming out. For the backfield, Aaron Epps makes it 2nd down. Again, going back to what I was talking about before, sometimes that confidence works negative, though. Again, it can work against you because now you think you can do some things that you can't do, and maybe Gordon on the run tried to force something that he shouldn't.
Yeah, well, again, he had his guy. I think he saw that. Again, part of it was the pressure by Morehouse, but then also allowing his feet to be set and make a better throw, a deeper throw. He had his guy deep, and literally Morehouse got away with a good ball for them.
2nd down. Burton going to throw the fade pattern. And a big-time catch. Absolutely, Jeremiah Thompson, who they say is a possession receiver with 4.3 speed.
Jeremiah Thompson. I still don't understand. How can you run 4.3 and be a possession, but when you make plays like this, great concentration, stretching out over your shoulder.
And that's a great call.
That's just a catch. That's a great call. That's not a catch. That's called a grab.
Yes.
Grab. Good grab.
And credit the officials for making the call because they could have easily said that hit the ground and been incomplete. But it's a big-time catch. We've come to the end of 1 quarter of play, and we are deadlocked. This portion of the 67th Annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic is brought to you by Earthlink. Earthlink revolves around you with tools and services to create the internet you want. 7-7 is our score. It's another Southwest Airlines presentation of black college football. A 32-yard play, get Morehouse into good position.
Yeah, and Jeremiah Thompson does a good job of keeping the defender away from the ball, stretches on his outside shoulder. A lot of receivers have a tough time adjusting to that ball. Great job adjusting. Great catch.
The last play of the 1st quarter. So now starting the 2nd quarter, and here comes Morehouse, and boy, you can see him firing off the line of scrimmage as Washington picks up about 6-7 yards on that play, and then a late flag is thrown on the other side of the field.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Vince Babbins. I think he kind of got caught pushing last. When you're in a fight, usually the guy who swings the 2nd punch, they're the ones who's going to get the personal foul called on them.
Babin, the senior from Las Vegas, Nevada.
You can't tell me these guys aren't intense, George.
Again, this is a rivalry.
Dead ball. Personal foul. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
They started this thing way back in the early 1900s. 94th meeting between these two teams. Tuskegee leads the overall series, 59 wins, 27 losses, and 7 ties. In command in this head-to-head meeting, and yet Morehouse looking for the lead. Burton, pass up, and a nice play defensively for the interception as Musa made the play, the preseason all-SIAC selection, the senior from Laverne, California, INT, and Tuskegee get the football back.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about one team making a big play and making a great catch. Well, defensively, David Musa did a great job on that play. You're looking at a situation where he kept his eye on the ball, realized where the receiver was, and he became a receiver. He was aggressive in going for the football. We got Nate Odoms doing a little color for these guys, and I think right now, when you talk about a all-pro defensive back smiling right now, I think he's smiling because David Musa did a great job intercepting that ball.
Musa, again, came in with a whole lot of height. They think this is one of the better defensive backs in the conference. And he made a great interception there to stop Morehouse as they were working their way downfield. Just starting the 2nd quarter.
You know, I talked to their defensive back coach yesterday, and he was saying that, you know, one of the problems with their defense was that because their defensive backs were so young.
Drive to the snap. delay a game, still first down.
And they needed David Musa, the senior, to kind of step up and be that leader and take the initiative and make plays like the one you just saw.
Well, among the starting 8 defensive backs on this team, the top 8 defensive backs, they have just 2 seniors. The rest of them are all sophomores and freshmen. After the delayed penalty, the delay handoff to Cortland Florence. And Florence, tackled by Devin McKnight. Florence is an interesting story. Here's a guy, I mean, he came in and everybody was talking about him. He was one of the better backs in the conference, but he really has battled a shoulder injury. The coaches say that he's probably 85 to 90% back. Not totally back, but really they need him as the season starts to develop. A guy who rushed for over 1,100 yards last year. Second down now, 13, Gordon. And a nice catch by his wideout on that play. And that catch was made by James Lewis. So it's real nice to see all. I mean, we've seen Williams with a catch, Lewis, Henderson. Gordon is spreading it around a little bit. Kevin Gordon's also caught a ball.
Absolutely, he is spreading it around. I think what I would like for him to see is make a quicker decision with the football. You know, that football, even though it was a good catch, I think if he can get it out of his hands a lot sooner, it would bode well for a run after the catch for the receivers.
But Lewis, just his 4th catch of the year. Gordon with a hold, had a big hole up the middle, and he got the first down. Nice run by the quarterback, Ralph Gordon. A pickup of 15 yards on the play for a first down.
Yeah, and Gordon, again, being in the shotgun, everyone's on the outside playing man-to-man. They rush upfield, and there's just a pocket there, just an open hole, and allowing him to run through. But now lower his shoulder for the boom.
You don't want to be a D-back and have a quarterback lower his shoulder, because I would assume that the next week in films, they're going to run that one over and over and over again.
Oh, you're going to hear about that.
Gordon on first down. Oh, he almost went down. Kept him. Oh, yes, and completes it over the middle. Credit Gordon with the presence of mind, despite the defensive pressure, to get rid of the football and deliver a good one to his wideout, Kenneth Henderson.
Yeah, Kenneth Henderson and Gordon, both tremendous job. Again, you know, you're looking at pressure coming right up the field. I don't number 75 getting all in his grill, but he just steps up and makes a great pass. And Kenneth Henderson does a good job of being aggressive with the football, not allowing the DB to kind of just sit there and make an easy interception.
He actually fought for that football with that middle linebacker, Andre Warren, who makes very little mistakes in the middle. But he was able to make the catch and get another first down. And now here comes Tuskegee. They are in Morehouse territory. And on first down, the play picks up a couple of yards. I want to remind you, coming up, our Southwest Airlines halftime report. And as usual, it'll be a battle of the bands. This is a promo I really don't got to give, because most people are sitting there saying, wait, we know y'all going to play the bands, right? Because that's kind of a big reason why I'm sitting here waiting for the football game, you know, to move along so I can watch some band play.
Well, they love their football, but let's not mess around. The bands are no joke.
Bands really captivate all of us. Even here at BT, I mean, we found it very hard to leave and take our quick break that we get, because we don't want to miss the show. After the 1-yard pickup, second down and 9. Out of the shotgun. Gordon with protection. Nice delivery. And in and out of the hands of the defensive player, Selwyn Scott. The senior from Boynton Beach, Florida, had a bead on it, but just couldn't make the catch.
Yeah, now I'm sure Selwyn is sitting there saying to himself, I need to go ahead and make that interception. You know, again, it was good protection, but this time I think the receiver, let's see if he, it was a situation where literally I think Gordon is thinking he's doing one thing. He probably thought he was going to come on the in route. That means go down 16 yards and come across the middle, as opposed to continuing on his 9 route or his go route.
Watch him hold our defensive end. Watch him hold our defensive end.
All right, Coach, we'll watch it for you too.
Yes.
Third down and 9. Looks like they are holding that defensive end. Pass is complete to number 81, Samuel Brown, yet another receiver getting in the mix and making a play.
Yeah, and Sammy Brown is one of their most experienced receivers. He's a senior, 5'11", 171, and really does a good job of separating and getting in and finding holes and presenting himself to Gordon. I think he probably would like to see his number called a lot more this year.
Brown, the leading receiver on this football team, came in, but when you talk about how much they've struggled offensively, here's the leading receiver, and he had just 12 catches coming in. That speaks volumes for just how little they've been able to get anything going offensively. But they look good in this one. First down play, Gordon holds it, does a little fake, got first down, and more.
George, I'm finally seeing Gordon starting to take over as this offense. You know, you saw him throw the interception where he didn't really set his feet, and again, he had his guy behind, beat the corner, Chad Allen. This time, you know, on this drive, he comes back, same amount of confidence, but he's methodically leading his team down the field, making some really accurate throws, stepping up in the pocket. This time, you see there's nothing downfield, good coverage by the defense, but yet at the same time, throws a little pump fake and gets some positive yards upfield, moving the sticks.
Coach gonna look at him and say, man, that boy was 10 yards downfield and you fell for the fake. On the option, a little quick pitch to Lawrence Irvin. You know, we talked about this before the broadcast, and the coaches said, listen, I got two different type of quarterbacks on this team. I got my computer quarterback, who's Terrence Jones, and my athletic quarterback, who's Ralph Gordon, which I would assume he probably ended up saying, the computer quarterback is good if we're doing this EA Sports thing, but when it comes down to trying to get it done on the field, I'm going to go with my athletic quarterback.
Exactly, and the thing, you know, and no offense to Terrence Jones, but they felt that, you know, he wasn't as accurate and he was being a little erratic, and they wanted to kind of settle down that position. And again, you know, you got a situation where if your quarterback's erratic, 9 times out of 10, everyone else is going to play erratic.
They take his lead. 33 yards carry, 33 yards running the ball for Gordon, as well as this time they give it inside. And again, it's nice to see Cortland Florence, the senior from Fort Lauderdale, the tailback, back on the field. As you get a big number 75, that was Keith Stevens. And Keith is a guy you really respect a lot in the fact that he plays both sides of that line. There is Terrence Jones, the senior from Norman Park, Georgia, number 11. Back to that offensive line. Look how big that line is.
They don't mess around.
Here's Good over the middle, wide open and incomplete. His receiver, Harry Williams, had got behind the secondary and was by himself, but could not make the catch.
Okay. I'm a receiver, so I'm going to have a little bit of empathy for him.
Oh, no.
I understand what exactly he's going through in his mind.
Okay.
I am so wide open. I don't have to do anything. Oops, I forgot the ball. That's really all that it was. Anything else, don't be coming to me on the sideline and giving me any pep talk, coach. I understand. I messed up.
Coach intercepts him right away, though. They got it. He's in his face right now. He's talking to him.
Yeah, I understand. He's going to be able to get a chance to get that play back.
So here comes Travis Gums, the junior, with the attempt. He's 6 of 8 so far this season, and this attempt was for 27 yards.
Delay a game. Offense.
And they're going to move him back even further now. But Gums has the capability of kicking a long field goal. His longest this season is 41 yards.
Oh, to make no question about it. I think Gums is one of the premier kickers in this league.
That's what they were telling us against Hampton. He struggled in that football.
Don't say anything. No, because
okay.
Kickers are delicate. They might feel our vibe. There's a vibe. The kicker's vibe.
Well, I'm glad Ray Lewis is in here because, you know, as he says, kickers will speak what's spoken to. He's not too worried about the vibe when it comes to kickers.
I know one thing.
And you should know firsthand how he feels about it.
Yes.
A 33-yard attempt now for Travis Gums, who, as I said, has hit 6 of 8. He's hit from 25, 31, 39, 24, and 41. But he has missed from 35 and 39. This, though, is a little chip shot for him, right?
It's a chip shot.
Okay.
I'm vibing for you, brother. You can make this one.
Last year, it was Gums' field goal with 7 seconds remaining in the football game that gave Tuskegee the win over Morehouse.
Who has? Hey, find out who has the clock. Find out who has the clock.
Well, Coach, don't look up here because we don't have it.
They got a malfunction because he got to be clocked out.
All right, well, tell him to announce it. The clock time will be kept on the field.
Okay, and
tell him to announce it.
Hey,
It'll be 8:02. Tell him to announce
tell them Tell the clock operator to announce that the clock will be.
Wait a minute.
So they're adding a minute.
Shouldn't the referee be telling
running up,
us
acting like you're going?
the clock is going to be, or the time's going to be kept up here on the field? Is supposed to on the field?
Yeah, I think they're supposed to. You know, I've talked to coaches before where the clock was kept on the field, and they said the scary part is you go to one ref, you say, well, how much time left? He'll say 3:14. Then you go to another one and say, how much time left? He'll say 2:56.
But the guys online, they can jump as long as they're back on side.
You hope that they are working it out.
Notice how both coaches are working those referees today. You see Coach Comagese, he's saying, listen, my guys can jump off sides if they want to, as long as they get back on. And at the same time, on the flip side of it, the O-line cannot jump at all.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Gum still with this 33-yard field goal attempt. Kicks up. It's got a lot of room to clear the bar, and it does. Now that's Travis Gums, who now is converted on 7 of 9 for the season and gives Tuskegee a 3-point lead.
Mobile Parts.
And you are back with George Johnson, Kadri Ismail, and the rest of our BET crew. Southwest Airlines presentation of Black College football continues. Morehouse against Tuskegee. Morehouse in the white jerseys with the maroon. That's why they're the Maroon Tigers. And the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee on defense as we take a look now at today's conference standings, brought to you by U.S. Navy. Navy, accelerate your life. And Kentucky State moving towards that Pioneer Bowl, undefeated in conference play. But again, like I said, Tuskegee feels if they can get some victories and they get some help, because a lot of these teams have to play each other still. Kentucky State still has some important games with Albany State, Miles, and maybe if they get a couple losses. Nickerson almost had his hands on that one, and he was going back the other way.
Yeah, you know what, interesting. You talk about, again, receiver awareness. Receiver awareness also means that, listen, if the pass is about to be broken up or intercepted, I got to now turn it to the DB. Nickerson had his eyes set on that end zone, but great job breaking the play up by Raymond Johnson.
And I thought, with you having said that, when they were in the end zone and Musa made the interception, I thought maybe I was going to ask you at that time, should Johnson have played a little bit more defensively than he did at that time? But again, he was going up for the pass.
He was going up. He actually mistimed his jump, didn't realize the ball was going as far as it did in the end zone on that play.
Third down, and this time Tuskegee says, yeah, bring it on. You're not getting any yards on us. And they come up with the play. I hear you, boys. I hear you. Again, I was talking about from the standings, the Pioneer Bowl. In case you folks don't know, that's down in Atlanta on December 20th, the Georgia Dome, where they'll take the champion from the SIAC, and he will play the champion from the CIAA. They were supposed to have it last year, had to cancel it, but they're bringing it back, and should be a lot of fun for you folks who can make your way down to Atlanta. Back to punt, Archibald, who had a 27-yard punt the last time. Archibald gonna have to take off as he was so glad he heard that whistle.
He said, hey, wait a minute, the whistle's
Make a call, man. Make the call.
Come on now, don't touch me. Don't touch me. The whistle blew. Don't touch me.
He started pointing as he was running. Y'all heard that whistle.
Yes,
Y'all act like you don't know what you're doing.
I'm just a punter.
Dead ball. Delay a game. Repeat 4th down.
So Archibald gonna have to punt it again. As you see Willard Sisson in his second season here. Last year his club was 6-5 as he would tie 2 other Morehouse coaches with the best first-year record. Was the offensive line coach here from 98 to 2000. Tuskegee, good pressure. Good kick. Henderson going to take it at about the 21-yard line. Do a little juking, pick up about 6 yards on the return, but another flag is thrown. 39-yard punt.
I think that one's going to be a block in the back, and they're going to bring that ball back. Henderson made the guy miss, but his guy ran right into the back of the guy, or the defender coming down trying to make the tackle.
Again, this has really been a good football game.
Block in the back. Doing the run back. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Yeah, you see right there, just foolish. You know, one of the rules that the coaches always teach you is this. Listen, if you can see the guy's back of his jersey, don't block him.
Don't touch him. But he did. So they're going to move the football back inside the 15. It'll be 1st and 10 Tuskegee, as they are having more fun than I am right now. Time for the bands to start doing their little warm-up thing. We're just moments away from our Southwest Airlines halftime report. Is on 1st down. James Lewis picking up good yardage and a 1st down for Tuskegee. The Maroon Tigers got the 75-yard touchdown play to Kenneth Henderson, then came right back with a 32-yard field goal. And Travis Gums, that's how they got their 10 points. Morehouse, on the other hand, took the lead early, 7-0, on a quarterback sneak in the 1st quarter. And that's how our scoring has come here. Black College Football continues on BET. A nice pitch that time at the very last moment to Cortland Florence, and Florence picks up a yard or 2 on the play, but credit Ralph Gordon with taking the hit before delivering it.
Yeah, and absolutely. They ran that play a couple of other times, and Morehouse did a good job of stuffing it. This time, he was real patient at the line, forcing the guy, the option guy, to make sure he either picks him or the pitch man, and this time he picked Gordon, and Gordon did a good job of pitching it off to get some positive yards upfield.
Florence picked up 4 on the play. 2nd and 6. Again, Florence drops the football, and Morehouse is all over it. Florence got hit, and Reuben Morris, the junior, picks up the football. And Morehouse is going to get it in great field position.
You talk about a solid just smack of the football. Cortland Florence, I know he came up with some shoulder problems, and he tried to lower his shoulder there, but that was one heck of a hit.
And it looked like
Jimmy Lane. Yeah, Jimmy Lane kind of lowered the boom and looked like a night train lane on that one. And
and just a redshirt freshman is Jimmy Lane. So on 1st down, here come the Maroon Tigers. Inside handoff. As you get a good look at Florence on the sideline after coughing up the pill. 2 turnovers apiece for each team.
No one feels as bad as Florence does right now. He understands that, you know, if he can get that ball back and maybe hold it more securely, to not give these guys, Morehouse, a great field position, he would.
2nd down now. Now they're going to play a little option football. Great little move by Burton, and Burton then finally hog-tied as the defender came from behind to make the play. Jonathan Harris, the redshirt freshman who's been battling a knee injury throughout the season, finally back in and makes the tackle.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those reverse option plays where you kind of give it, you fake it one direction and go another. But this is a big man coming at you, 6'5", 252, coming at you. And Burton, you know, kind of showed a little niftiness there, too. That was a great run by Burton.
They say Burton is a classic drop-back passer, but when he wants to make plays with his feet, looks like he can. 1st down after the play. Nice fake. Eludes 2 defenders, still on his feet, and finally run out of bounds close to the 5.
Did a good job of scrambling outside the pocket. Look at this, you know, you see him coming around. Nobody's there. Seeing defenders jumping around. Little niftiness, 252 pounds. Are you going to lower the boom? Psych! Oleg.
Yeah, he saw Nate Jones coming that way. He said, nah, I ain't messing with Nate.
Yeah.
I'm not messing with Nate.
Well, you got to know when to hold him, when to fold him.
But look how big he is. Now, we saw a quarterback a couple of weeks ago, and Craig Littlepage from Morgan State, who towered over some of the folks. But this guy, DeJuan Burton, is huge.
Well, he's a young guy, too, and that's what they love about him. He's only going to get better.
So they decide to take a timeout. This is a very important one. And before we go to commercial break, let's take a look at today's trivia question brought to you by McDonald's 365 Black, 365 Black. Join McDonald's at 365blackhistory.com in a year-long celebration. The question, what Morehouse alumnus was a two-time Olympic gold medalist in the 400-meter hurdles? See, what we've done is we've left the world of football, and yet history is history, especially black history.
Oh, and I know that one, too.
We got the answer when we get back. Welcome back as we take a look at our 365 Black McDonald's trivia question. Once again, what Morehouse alumnus was the two-time Olympic gold medalist in the 400-meter hurdles? You said you had the answer, right?
Ooh, I know it.
All right, go ahead. I'll let you answer that one.
Yes.
Man in the back.
Edwin Moses.
There you go. Graduated from Morehouse in 1978. Track is named after him. Won the gold medal in the 400-meter hurdles, the Olympic Games in Montreal back in 1976. Was denied the opportunity to defend that title in 1980 in the Olympics. He got another gold 8 years after that first win in Los Angeles. Edwin Moses, one of the great sports figures in this country's history.
Here's a little story for you.
He's going to come outside. Now he's going to come outside or throw.
Edwin Moses was practicing over in Japan. And he had, for practice, 60,000 people watching him.
Isn't it funny how we can go out of this country and get more respect sometimes, more love from some folks? They respect us as athletes sometimes more than they do here. Really appreciate it. Another miscue for Morehouse, and they fumble the football and give it up. This one was recovered.
Looked like Jordan Brumbaugh.
Yes.
On the recovery right there.
His third fumble recovery of the season.
Anytime you're doing some fumble recoveries your third time, that is called just being very smart and knowing where the football is. I think that was a quarterback running back exchange. There was a little bit of problem with the handoff. It didn't seem like it was as clean. And, of course, Jordan Brumbaugh was saying, okay, it doesn't matter whether it was clean or not. We got the ball back.
And more importantly, they dodge a huge bullet because Morehouse was in great position to put 7 on the board, which would have given them the lead heading into halftime.
This is something we didn't see at Hampton, where they got the breaks going their way. Now they have an opportunity to have breaks go their way and see what they can do to capitalize on it.
So as we start to run out of time here in the first half, Tuskegee going to be very happy with keeping it on the ground, although that one was going nowhere.
Ooh, Somali Gordon laid the smackdown on him, huh?
Gordon is, they list him at 6'5", 270. He's not 6'5". He's not 270 anymore, is he?
Nah, he looked like...
That was before the season.
Training table kind of got to him right there.
Gordon, not 270. Just a sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. Get a good look at the young man.
Great upfield push on that play right there.
But Tuskegee lost a yard on the play. So now it makes it 2nd and 11. Get Morehouse trying to just buckle down, maybe make a stop and get this football back before the end of the first half. Out pattern, almost picked off.
They're gonna really,
yeah, looked like it hit the ground. It may be another great call by the officiating crew. That pass was almost picked off by Robert Harris.
You know, it seems to me when Gordon rolls outside the pocket, if he doesn't get a chance to set his feet, he kind of has his ball kind of sail, or in this particular case, wobble on him. And you can clearly see the ball hit the ground for an incomplete pass. But, hey, that was a good acting job by number 20.
Well, remember, Robert Harris was a former wide receiver, so he
knows how to go ahead and dive
and then come up.
Oh, look, I made the catch.
Got to raise it up.
This is mine, right?
Play clock continues to roll as we approach 5 seconds on the play clock. 3rd down and 11. Gordon, good protection, looking for a hole, still on his feet. That time the pump fake doesn't work.
Nah, he pumped it one time too many. They kind of believe that's on the on to him now.
Andre Warren, see that middle linebacker. Yeah, he's a veteran. He said no, sir.
You know, and the thing about Andre Warren, you know, I just love about his study habits. You know, you talk about on the one side, you look at an Ampli type of guy. Well, I'm gonna say this name that reminds me of an Andre Warren when the coaches were talking about him.
Okay.
His name is Mike Singletary.
He reminds you of Mike's now.
Yes.
Now they're comparing somebody to Mike Singletary.
I'm not saying he's at the level, but he reminds it, his study habits, the way he goes about his business, constantly looking at film, a student of the game, and the way his teammates respect him and rally around him. That to me is Michael Singletary-esque.
Absolutely. They say Andre Warren brings his schoolwork to the film room. So he takes breaks in between school, he'll watch some film.
Yes.
They said he is a true student and maybe the best linebacker in all the SIAC. Got a timeout on the field. Tuskegee got the timeout. They got to make sure that they get a good punt here. Last year, Tuskegee led 7-0. Javon Bowden going to make a big play as he picks up the blocked punt right here. He's going to rumble 36 yards for the touchdown. Morehouse was in great position for a victory. Then Adam Lamb, their quarterback, will hook up with Ernest Hunter on a 15-yard touchdown play. It's 14-7 Morehouse, and they're saying this is ours, but hold up. Here's Florence, who we've seen in this ballgame fumble. He goes 7. We're tied at 14-14. Late Tuskegee field goal, then sets up the crazy finish. Kenneth Rogers on the return, but the play ends in a safety. And the Golden Tigers prevail 19-14 here in Columbus, Georgia. And Morehouse felt like they had that football game. They were up 14-7. It would have been back-to-back wins over Tuskegee because they had beaten them the year before that. And so they came into this football game saying, man, we let that one go last year. We're not going to let this happen 2 years in a row.
Oh, yeah, I think they're coming out with a lot of fire this year.
It's going to be very important, though, on this play as Travis Gums punts. He's had 2 punts in the game, averaging 40 yards per punt on both of them. Standing back deep at about his own 42.
It looks like
Ravenel Dupree.
Does Gums have a knee brace on? This is how he's punting with a knee brace and doing a fine job of it, too.
He gets this one off and a good one. Dupree eludes one tackler but can't elude the second one.
Great special teams coverage on both sides of the football. You're seeing these guys go down. They're not really giving up too many big plays on their punt coverage units. Kickoff return, on the other hand, kickoff return guys, they're doing a good job as far as getting good field position for both offenses.
48-yard punt, but just a 3-yard return.
Very good coverage.
So now the ball's marked at the 44-yard line. Again, you hope that the time is right on the clock. I've got a minute 8 here. And you hope that it's right. We did have some problems with the clock a few minutes back. Morehouse trailing, 10-7. Throws it underneath. Pass is complete to Raymond Johnson, who's close to a first down, but most importantly, he gets out of bounds and stops the clock.
Exactly. Again, these receivers are really smart as far as understanding the game itself. It's one thing just to catch a football, but to really be smart, get what you can get and get out of bounds, stop the clock so we can live to fight another down.
Second down now, 3 yards shy of a first. Single setback behind Burton. DeWan quickly passes out for Thompson. Thompson's going to pick up the first down. They'll stop the clock to reset the chains.
Yeah, and that's when
they'll start going again.
Exactly. That's when those little flanker screens, you just want to get the ball real quick to your receivers. And this time, Jeremiah Thompson, break a quick tackle, get the first down. And like you said, George, in college football, the clock stops when the chains move.
But it continues to roll. 40, 42, and 41 counting. Morehouse trailing. Trying to get down close, maybe get a field goal. On the run, pass is complete. And the receiver again gets out of bounds. This time it's Corey Russ.
These guys are special. I'm like, wow. I mean, again, great job of making a tremendous play. And, and Coach Sissom has to be happy with the way his 2-minute offense is running so far.
Pickup of 12 on that one. So credit Morehouse. Despite the fact that time is against them, they're taking their time and getting the football downfield, maybe putting themselves in position for Byron Archibald field goal. His longest this season is 34 yards. That one may be a lateral. Defensive player picks it up.
They're calling it incomplete.
You got to convince the officials better. You got to say, hey, that was backwards.
Yeah, I don't know what was the deal on that play. That looked like it was another flanker screen, but you know, with only 32 seconds left and you're still not exactly in field goal range, you probably wouldn't want to take a shot down the field.
But you got to be conscious also, because if that's that screen, there is the possibility that the receiver could have been behind the quarterback, and that makes that ball live.
Absolutely, you definitely. That's one of the things you practice over and over in practice, and making sure that you try to execute it properly in the games.
On the other hand, I guess you walk away and say that was incomplete. You can't call that a fumble. See, he's back there again. See, now they want to throw pass. So it was a backward lateral. Into the end zone, pass is incomplete. That may have been what they were setting up before, and it's not going to work if that pass is forward.
Yes, you know, okay, it worked once, but to go back to it again, actually the first time it did not work, but then to come back to it, I'm wondering whether or not if this ball was a lateral, if indeed he tried to go ahead and have it go down. Nope, you don't. You see, yeah, it was actually thrown in front of the receiver. Right. Luckily for Morehouse, they did it the second time, but this time the defense was wise to them, and they played deeper than the deepest receiver, and Raymond Johnson was not being able to get behind the guys.
So on third down, over the middle, pass is complete to the receiver. They got a first down.
Doesn't get out.
Doesn't get out of bounds, but that's Russ again with the catch. Clock says 13 seconds. 17-yard pickup. They'll start the clock soon as they put the football down on the ground.
They're calling timeout. They're trying to get timeout on the field.
Morehouse gets the timeout again. Byron Archibald, the senior from Tuscaloosa, is their kicker. And he's converted on 5 of 10 field goals this season, as long as I said, 34 yards. And now Morehouse is out of timeouts after that play, so now they're going to have to make a decision. Do they kick it? Do they try one more time? If they try one more play, your thoughts?
My thinking is allow them to get a shot into the end zone. If it doesn't, it goes incomplete. Get your team out there on the field and go ahead and try to kick the field goal.
After this catch, we got to get to the ball to be able to clock.
Ravenel, make sure you take the middle of the field.
They're going to try to make it. I think they're trying to get a shot
down the middle. And they're talking to Ravenel Dupree, number 80, to get in the middle of the field. Now, if he were to attempt a field goal right now, the ball's at the 16-yard line. So
this
it would be a 33-yard.
You just heard Coach Sissom ask that they have one more timeout.
He'll do it. JD will do it.
That was a good thing for them to find that information out, because if they wanted to take a shot down the field, thinking that they had another timeout, time would have ran out. They would have been in at halftime. This is a real critical down. I think what you're seeing the 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen right there. They're going to go ahead and just allow them to go deep and spread the defense out. And Burton is going to pick one of those receivers, whoever is open.
Burton, 1st and 10 over the middle. And almost intercepted as Carlos Leggins got a hand on it.
No. We're going to kick the field.
Yeah, he said we're not going to try that.
Wise enough. He tried to go ahead and get Ravenel down the middle. The defense did a good job of snuffing it out, allowing it to fall incomplete, and now they're going to have an opportunity for the field goal.
33-yard attempt for Archibald. Again, 5 of 10 this year. The kick is up, and it's no good. And that won't end the first half. Looks like we still have a couple of seconds left. Tuskegee will probably take a knee and be very happy, Coach Comagee, knowing
they got 2 of them. One of them was a 7, and another 2.
he's going to be very happy knowing that he can escape out of this first half with the lead.
No doubt about it. I think, this gives a lot of confidence for these guys. They recognize this is a big game for them. They need this win to continue momentum.
And and Morehouse is going to be kicking themselves. They've been inside the 5-yard line twice. Remember, they are at least inside the 20. They've been in the red zone. They coughed the football up. Yes. They gave up the had the fumble inside, which was picked up by Brumball.
Correct.
And then they don't get the points here.
Yes.
They're really going to be upset with themselves. They got opportunities.
Their red zone offense really has struggled.
Gordon on 1st down over the middle, and wow, that may, with no time on the clock.
I think you just take a knee, go ahead, recognize you're going in at halftime with the score Tuskegee 10, Morehouse 7. We'll be back after this.
Yeah, I don't have nothing to say. Cosby just closed it up. Go to break. Fade the black. Fade.
Halftime coming up.
And welcome back to our Southwest Airlines halftime report, where Tuskegee leads this one by the score of 10-7. Joining George Johnson, Kadri Ismail, as we now take time out to talk about this first half. I guess really the person that we want to talk about is the quarterbacking for Tuskegee. I mean, it has been very solid, something that somewhat surprises a lot of folks out there.
Well, you know, they really made the change because of his consistency, because of his poise. He was accurate. He started off a little bit slow in the beginning, throwing some balls high, but then once he settled down, he did a tremendous job of, you know, moving his team down the field. On the one drive, he was very smart and diligent with the football, making sure that he stepped up into the pocket when he needed to. At the same time, he did a good job of scrambling when he didn't find anyone down the field, and he did a tremendous job of getting down and getting his team in position to make plays. Of course, I think as it goes on, you know, you have a couple of drops here and there, but as it goes on, you're going to see a better and better Ralph Gordon with this offense.
He completed 50% of his passes, 7 of 14, but maybe the most impressive was the fact that he threw that 75-yard bomb to Henderson, and the way he threw it, how confident he was after he threw it with the pump fake. He came out after that play, and from then on, I mean, he really took control of this offense, and that is why Tuskegee has the lead in this one by the score of 10-7. We have more Southwest Airlines halftime coming your way after this.
Steady Flow, Richmond's home for what's new in brand name shoes and clothing.
And welcome back. Our Southwest Airlines halftime report continuing as we now focus in on the Morehouse Marching Band, as everyone else here at the stadium is doing right now. getting ready to take another break, but when we get back, it's Tuskegee's turn. Peace. You are back here in Columbus, Georgia. Southwest Airlines halftime report. Black college football and the Tuskegee University Marching Piper Band is on the field right now under the direction of Warren L. Duncan II. Sit back, relax, and of course enjoy. Tuskegee Band, of course, making our Southwest Airlines halftime report really move. And it has been an enjoyable experience here halftime of Tuskegee Morehouse, the 68th annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic. George Johnson along with Kadri Ismail. Let's talk again about that first half and show some visuals to support it. And we thought that the running game was going to be very important for Morehouse, and it was early on.
Absolutely. They came right out with J.D. Washington doing some explosive runs down the field. We talked about his elusiveness. Here you see a long gain for him to help set up this touchdown by Burton, and really a great drive starting off. But again, you came right back with a 75-yard bomb by Gordon, and he really did a tremendous job of gaining back his confidence after that first drive of not being as stable. But, you know, this game has really been a kind of an ebb and flow where you had some great plays and some not so great plays. David Musa did a good job of playing the football, taking it away from Morehouse, and of course they were able to capitalize on it with this great field goal.
32-yard field goal by Gums.
Exactly, but now you go right back, and now you march down the field, and Morehouse really had some opportunities and weren't able to capitalize on them with the missed field goal there. And, you know, Coach Kamaji and his staff really got to be happy with the way things are going for Tuskegee.
Time now to take a look at our first half stats, and when you look at the numbers, obviously the rushing yards stand out, but Morehouse again said that they were going to run the football. The Tuskegee has had troubles running the football all year long, but you've got to be happy with the fact that Tuskegee has been able to throw the football. That stat is even with the rushing yards to the advantage of Morehouse, but the points are not to their advantage.
Yeah, and one of the things that kind of, you know, jumps out to you is the time of possession. Usually a running team has the ball more than a passing team, and Tuskegee in this particular case has the edge and really has limited their turnovers and done a good job in the red zone. I think that's the difference.
You got to think that Morehouse, though, at halftime, very upset with the fact that they had the football in the red zone a couple of times, could not capitalize, and that's why they trail in this one. We'll have second half action right after this.
Coming to the stage.
The competition getting harder. People I gotta worry about. TL Fizz, Justin. But you know, they not better than me, so it really don't matter.
Bang on there and see what happens. Bang on there and see what happens. Hey man, how fierce is that competition? It's gonna be interesting to see how that 12-year-old man, or should I say kid, see I don't want to call him a kid, because he's handling his business, but little JJ from Arkansas hanging in there with the big boys. Just like Shorty right here hanging in. You got to watch it Tuesday at night at 9 o'clock right here on BET. See if he can handle his business. Second half action, get ready to get underway. Morehouse in this one. They're going to receive the kick back deep. Raven O'Dupree, the freshman, has done a good job returning the football. Gums will kick it off. Dupree going to take it inside his 5, looking for some blocks, and takes it out, still on his feet. Finally brought down, taken out of bounds, actually, around the 30-yard line, 27-yard return. Morehouse in the first half, having problems early on with their possession. Punted it, fumbled, threw an interception, and punted and fumbled again, and had the missed field goal. That ended the first half, and it was an opportunity for them to tie this game up, as you see the numbers for DeJuan Burton in the first half.
Yeah, and I think, you know, they started off strong, but again, those miscues and those turnovers really come back to haunt them, and I think what they need to do is be a lot more consistent, especially when they get the ball down in the red zone.
Yes, they had some opportunities, couldn't capitalize, and because of it, they start the second half down 3. Immediately go to their ground game. As they give it off inside to Aaron Epps. Epps in the first half ran the ball pretty good, as he had a couple of carries to get some first downs. Not big numbers, but at least very effective running for him. And he also came out and showed the ability to catch the football.
Yeah, I think that's what they really, really liked, how he came out of the backfield and was kind of that outlet passer for Burton to get rid of the football.
Burton 9 of 16, 138. Had the interception. This time gives it to Washington. Washington, nice run right there. And second down and 4, picks up more than enough for a first down, first half. Washington followed his blocking and does it again here in a second.
Yeah, and you see a great seal job on the outside by the guard and the tackle, and literally good downfield blocking. Anytime you get downfield blocking or running in the downfield and getting some open field yards after he gets past the line of scrimmage, you credit your wide receivers. They did a good job of downfield blocking.
Last year, the young man, John David Washington, the sophomore, broke his right collarbone. And he had been on a roll before he got hurt. And has come back and done a good job, as you get a good look at his father, Denzel Washington. Don't really have to tell you who his father is. You can tell by just putting that video up there who he is.
A little smile, he's saying, yeah, that's my boy right there.
My boy getting it done, but this time, oh, and a late hit as Knox comes up and hits Epps after Epps missed the football, that's the kind of mistakes that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Yeah, he's going to go to the sideline. I think Coach Kamaji is about to make sure he understands the importance of not doing foolish things like that. You don't need that, especially when your defense is playing well and you're up.
That's kind of what...
Dead ball, personal foul, 15 yards, first down.
Antonio Knox, the defensive end from Gulfport, Mississippi.
Yeah, you know, and this play was an incomplete pass. It was dropped. There was really no need to do anything. I mean, it's going to be a third and long situation, and now, you know, you get to change moves for a first down, and so it's kind of like a free gimme first down.
It's almost like you wonder whether he was harboring some feelings against that young man from a couple of plays ago, and he was definitely going to let him know about it. As Washington with the carry and brought down by Skylar Weaver, who is the backup to Knox.
Skylar's probably going to be in there for a little bit while until the calmer head of Knox can get back in there, and Weaver did a good job of able to step in and make that tackle.
As for Knox, transfer from Nicholls State a couple of years ago, and he's been very active on this team since he got here, but just a little too active. Second down, somebody's moving in the trenches. You get these quarterbacks and they start pointing over at the defense, but if the defense gets back in time, you know.
Well, I think right there they probably touched the offensive player. When you touch an offensive player,
absolutely,
that's when you got encroachment.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
You're seeing the defense be a lot more aggressive. They're starting to come up and press the wide receivers of Morehouse, and we'll see whether or not Burton will have enough time, because usually when you press on the outside, there's somebody coming up in the box meaning the tackle-to-tackle and blitzing.
Inside handoff to Washington. Now, they said they were going to get the ball to Washington. They said anywhere from 20 to 25 times they like to put the ball in his hand. They are giving him the football. Make no mistake about it. That, of course, his 17th carry, but he has a little over 40 yards. So, obviously, Tuskegee is doing a good job containing him and not letting him get free.
And, again, when we talk about having guys in the box from tackle to tackle, that's considered the box. And however many defenders you can count off, usually there's only 6 defenders, but they're packing that box with 7 and 8 guys trying to prevent any kind of hard running and playing man-to-man on the outside.
This time they give it to Epps, and Epps on first down carries it for about 6 or 7. Washington's a man who also almost rushed for 300 yards this year, so he has shown the ability to give them big games. Last year, before going down with that broken collarbone, he had rushed for 100 yards plus in 3 straight.
Yeah,
and he was a freshman.
And that's the beauty of Washington. When he has an opportunity to make you miss, he's going to do that. At the same time, I think once he gets in the rhythm and in the flow, you know, he's a hard guy to bring down.
Second down now. Now they're going to run a little option. The quarterback decides to hold on to it. Credit Tuskegee with doing a good job with the contain. It looked like he didn't have any, any chance if he had pitched that ball to his back.
Yeah, and this is like a kind of a counter option where you're going to, present the option one way and go back the other way. You see a good job by the D lineman, number 96, Brumbaugh, do a good job of, forcing the quarterback not to be able to pitch it to the outside and get it to Washington, and he had to kind of eat it there for little to no gain.
And number 14, Nickerson, did a good job also, able to crash the point of attack and disrupt anything Morehouse was going to do. Third down now, they give it to their back, and nothing doing. Again, this defensive front coming up large for Tuskegee.
Well, I tell you what, you talk about kind of some red zone woes. Here's another opportunity inside the red zone, and they couldn't get anything going. What surprises me, though, is that Burton and his receivers, has some talented guys on the outside. They're pressing, playing man-to-man, trying to take away the run. This is a good time for a possible play action or to go ahead and just throw up a fade and let your athletes make a play.
After missing a 33-yarder earlier, Archibald with a 37-yard attempt, and it hits the crossbar. Just a little bit more for the senior, and this game would have been all tied up at 10 apiece. But now Tuskegee gets the football back at the 20 when we get back. So Tuskegee dodging the bullet. It's the 37-yard field goal attempt. No good for Morehouse. And so now the Golden Tigers get it 1st and 10 at the 20. And back at the helm is Ralph Gordon, who got a whistle before they could even get things going.
Again, you talk about offsides and encroachment. If you touch an offensive lineman, the defense can't get back and reset themselves. Let's see if they were drawn off, whether or not an offensive lineman possibly would have jumped. The way it looks like Tuskegee is reacting, it might be on them.
Okay, but don't look at my man, though.
So they're waving off the flag. So Ralph Gordon and company, again, going to try to get this thing going.
One more time out of the white. You got your sheets. Two back, all right? Black and white. We're sliding to the fullback.
They're checking out protection. When you talk about sliding one way or the other, they're talking about what are the linebackers in the offensive line or the D-line, what are they doing? Are they sliding to the left or to the right to your weakness or your strength?
How about Gordon delivering that pass on the money, good for a 1st down, complete to James Lewis.
Are they showing that incomplete?
He called it.
I think that hit. You're looking at the receiver running the slant route.
He called it incomplete.
It's a good pass.
That was right on the money.
And he's on the ground.
Yeah, he went. Well. The receiver needs to hold on to that one.
The receiver on that
I was going to defend him, but those slant patterns here, you know you're going to get blown up. But hey, you got to go in there and take it for the team, move those chains. And Gordon couldn't have thrown a better ball than that. He did a tremendous job of keeping it low away from guys, and you just got to make that catch.
Gordon has completed 7 of 15. Again, a good-looking ball, and this one is caught, held onto by the wide receiver, Harry Williams.
Okay, George, the more I've seen this man work, the more I'm excited I'm getting. You just saw him throw a nice little dart in there to his receiver. The receiver couldn't hold on. This time you see him in the backfield stepping up. Now watch out his good mechanics. Good throw, steps into the throw, allows the receiver to go out there, catch it with his hands. Harry Williams, nice pitch and catch.
Good for 24 yards and another 1st down. The ball is marked at the 39-yard line. Boy, as this game is developing, Ralph Gordon seems to get more and more confident in that pocket. And he really is throwing, as you said, a good ball. This time, though, he gives it to his tailback, Lawrence Irvin. Irvin's going to pick up about 3-4 yards.
Yes, George, I do have that smile on my face. And yes, I'm just saying, wow, look at those balls. They're nice, tight spirals, very catchable balls. Those are the things you look at as a receiver to make yards up the field. I just tell you what, Ralph Gordon is doing a tremendous job of having a lot of poise in the pocket, recognizing the defenses, barking out the information to his O-line, what protection they need to go to. Coach Kamaji's and his staff really, I think, has settled down and found their quarterback that they're looking for.
You brought up a good point in terms of settling down. We saw him a couple of weeks ago against Hampton, and he looked shaky. Coaches told me he was as nervous as they get in that football game, his first start. Look at this ball. Oh! And a big-time catch by Williams again. And as much as you want to talk about Gordon's throwing, you got to credit Harry Williams with coming up with back-to-back catches and both of them with his hands.
Yes, and no doubt about it. You see here, a little play action fake, a little counter action, and just a kind of a deep cross over the middle with the post behind it. Good concentration, diving out for the ball. He's a big target, 6'3", 180 pounds. Did a good job of just stepping into the throw. Gordon knew he was going to get hit, but it was well worth it when you got completions down the field to guys like Williams.
34 yards on that play. So Gordon has this offense moving. 1st and 10. Inside. Look at Irvin taking his time, finding some open holes and picking up close to 12, 13 yards on that play.
Yeah, and now you start seeing big fella in the middle there. They're starting to warm up. You're looking at this play here. Look at the offensive line firing out. Look at big fella just knocking the linebackers. Look at that seal right there. That is a great job. And it was a good, solid run by Irvin, recognizing where his guys are blocking the other guys and running the opposite way.
Umpire Charles Balloon. He got knocked off on that one. You need to get out the way. Little fake there by Gordon. Little busted play. There was nothing they could do on that one.
They lay right there, bud.
But credit Gordon with being able to get maybe even a yard on the play.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. We didn't see that in the Hampton game. We saw him sit back there and kind of, you know, be a little gun shy, and if pressure did come up. Now, mind you, I'm saying Hampton's defensive front, arguably probably the best they're going to face this year. Tuskegee's going to face this year. However, this time around, he was able to just say, okay, I know I don't have a play. Let me not be foolish with the ball, and let me fall forward.
Okay, let's go.
So now, on second down, looks like Gordon with I formation, 2 receivers split to the right. He's looking that way, better get rid of it. Linebacker was coming quickly. And they barely get back to the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Lane had a bead on him and was about to introduce himself to him if he hadn't gotten rid of that football.
And you know, George, even though that play didn't go for a lot of yards, again, you're still in manageable field goal range. You got Gums who can make some, you know, great kicks. So again, you talk about managing the game and not allowing, you know, Lane to knock your block off. You live to fight another down. But again, that was good protection on the inside, you know, with Chapman and Lawrence and Lowry protecting on the inside. Now they just got to shore it up on the outside, not allow those outside rushers to apply pressure on Gordon.
And now the play clock was approaching 0, so Tuskegee calls a timeout. Do not want to lose any yards whatsoever because they are knocking on the door for another couple of points.
This portion of the 67th Annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic is brought to you by Pepsi-Cola. Experience the joy of Pepsi.
It is 10-7 Tuskegee, and they are in great position for some more points against Morehouse. 68th Annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic here in Columbus, Georgia. Ralph Gordon, who's been very good here in the second half, pass over the middle, and it is incomplete. Well, the one thing we do know is that we have many players on this field who not only get it done on the field but off the field when it comes to their books. And here is our scholastic players of the game, brought to you by Pepsi-Cola, who experience the joy of Pepsi. Jay Nelson, one of them.
Travis Scott, got there to attempt a field goal. Ball is fired on the 21-yard line.
Raleigh Maxwell was your other. So now Travis Gums going to attempt the field goal. He's 1 of 1. Hit a 33-yarder, kicking up from 30 yards out, and it's good. So 2 for 2. And again, going back to our scholastic players of the game, Jay Nelson, the senior engineering major, and Raleigh Maxwell, the sophomore accounting major from Tuskegee, with a 3.29. But you know, it's funny going through the media guide and looking at all the bios and all the players that go to these schools and maintain 3.0 GPAs. I talked to a lot of people and they said, you know, you talk about some of the things that happen in sports and they happen for a reason. I look back on a couple of years ago when Proposition 48 came out and how we were very upset about how it was unfair to a lot of young men. But the fact is that the young men have adjusted and now do their books and take care of their business so that they can stay competitive.
That's a credit to the coaches as well, realizing that, hey, we're not only recruiting good football players, but we're recruiting quality human beings.
And another thing I think it's important for us to note is that here they are at the Division II level. And while a lot of them have dreams of going to the next level to play football, most of them are very realistic about that. And it's very important to come out here and get your books. I mean, I'm looking at some of these guys from Morehouse. They got 3.0s in mathematics. I mean, these are not easy classes that they're taking. It's not like, you know, I'm a physical education major or something. Mathematics, chemistry, nothing against the physical education.
I was going to say nothing against that, because you're also looking at some hard core classes as well with the FIT-ES major, but at the same time, I do understand your point, George. Absolutely, absolutely. You have to be well-rounded and well-balanced if you're going to attend Morehouse and Tuskegee, two fine institutions.
On the kick return, and the ball was fumbled. The return was by Dupree. Dupree got knocked down at around the 30, and then it looked like the ball had bounced out of his hands and onto the turf.
I got a little excited there, George. I tried to You know, I'm a player at heart, and I see the ball coming out. You know, you recognize that Dupree's coming through there, and it looks like he lost it early. He lost it early.
Yes.
You know, your boy is looking out for you, Dupree. He kind of jumped on it for you. I think if I didn't call out fumble, no one would have known Tuskegee might have picked it up. This is an important drive for Burton. 13-7, still the game is a little close. They come out again with that counter option, if you will, and they've been able to get some good yards with that. J.D. Washington on the carry right there.
And they want to establish the run, Kadri. I mean, first, you know, possession of the game, they hit 7 runs.
There you go, good one.
And Coach Sissom told us that we're going to keep it on the ground. First possession of this half, they had 6 runs. So this man will assist him, and he told us it's something that almost made you cringe. He said, listen, when I throw the football, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
I'm not listening.
So I'm keeping the ball on the ground.
I'm not listening.
Wide receiver not listening to us. Little outside pitch to Epps. Well, Epps tries to get to the outside on 2nd down, and a good job again by the Golden Tigers to deny him some room. And we got a flag thrown down at about the 44-yard line. But again, and Coach Systems will tell me, he says, the reason I like to keep it on the ground is it's easier for everybody to stay on the same page. Yes? No, I mean, we all know where we're going, and
sure.
And there's a less chance of a mistake happening.
Sure, I understand that, and I respect Coach Systems' viewpoint on that. Obviously, he's the head coach. I am not. However, from a receiver standpoint, when you got some studs, again, like the Duprees and the Thompsons and the Pittmans, the Rochesters, and you got a big guy like Burton, while he's young, and I'll
holding,
point in a second.
Doing the run. Still 2nd down.
I have to let the referee do his thing,
yes.
But while Burton is still growing into his role as a stud quarterback, I mean, right now you see Tuskegee lining 8 guys up on the line of scrimmage, and they're playing man-to-man on the outside. I've already proven as a receiver on the outside I can make plays for you, Coach. I'm saying, hey, do some play action, do something that'll give you a chance to get a shot down the field. I'm not saying abandon the run, but complement it with your stud guys on the outside.
2nd down, Burton going to throw, dumps it to his wide receiver underneath, and that's Corey Russ, the sophomore, who in the first half had 2 receptions for 26 yards. That doubles his season total. He now has 5 on the season, came in with just 2.
Yeah, and again, you talk about dropping back the pass, and there's really no one down the field, but you have a simple just drag route by Corey Russ. Now it's really a good job of Jonathan Harris not allowing the receiver to get too much separation. Those drag routes, if you run it properly, you can create major separation as a receiver. Good job by number 19, Jonathan Harris, closing in on him.
I would assume a lot of times you get linebackers on receivers. Pass is complete on 3rd down and 7. Going to be interesting to see where they mark it as Raymond Johnson made the catch. But it's going to be close to it. It's going to be all about the mark here.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to possibly be short. Again, going back to this style of defense that Tuskegee is deciding to play, because they're playing that man-to-man, pack him in the box, stop the run. When you talk about a possible drag route isolating on a receiver, isolating on a linebacker, this is a situation where you can have an opportunity to do some crossing routes and bump off defenders to get other receivers open to move the chains down the field.
And what you're saying is when you have 4 and 5 different receivers, it allows you to do a lot more different things with those guys.
4 or 5 different receivers. 4 or 5 good.
Very good receivers.
Yeah, very good receivers who have made plays for you.
Yes.
I think that it can help your run. It gives Epps and Washington, and even Mack for that matter, a chance to get more explosive runs. And speaking of Mack, did he go down with an injury or something? Because we haven't heard his name since that great run in the first half.
Well, you were right about the spot. They're still short. But it's 4th down now. It's going to be interesting to see.
We're running to you back.
They have been very successful on 4th down. They've converted 5 of 8 on the season.
Hey, Brumbaugh talking junk to Coach Sissom, and he's saying, Coach Sissom is saying, hey, yeah, we're going to run that ball right your way. Let's see what's going on right here.
Sissom, of course, a former defensive lineman, but they don't run it at him. They keep it in the hands of the quarterback, and Burton on the quarterback sneak gets the first down. But that man right there knows what it's like to talk to defensive linemen. He, too, was one at Alabama, where he was a 4-year starter for the Crimson Tide, and in fact played for Bear Bryant for a couple of seasons.
Had a chance to talk to Coach Sissom, and you know, he really has his guys believing in his program and in his system, and you know, they do a great job of their off-season program and getting guys really coming back down to Morehouse and getting ready to play for their season.
1st and 10 after the quarterback sneak, just outside their own 40-yard line. Crunching block inside, and Washington tried to cut back inside and was met by a linebacker.
George,
did you see that block, though?
Dare I say?
You heard that block.
That was an O-N-E. Here
I want you to see.
Oh, my eye. I've been blinded. I think Mr. Washington just got hit by number 5'5", Marcus Wright.
But the block also was crunching prior to that.
I saw Epps, definitely, he thudded up his guy. But Marcus Wright is like, okay, you go ahead and take one for the team. Epps, you know, you got the block. I'm about to go ahead and knock your boy with the ball Washington's head off.
Wright is the leading tackler on the team. Over the middle, and it's intercepted by Tuskegee. And the interception is by Nate Jones. And then Jones dropped it, but no.
Brown can't call it the fumble.
Nate Jones with his 2nd interception of the game. And Nate Jones, the senior from Tuskegee, the homeboy, giving the Gold Tigers the football back.
Score big with Black College Football. Southwest Airlines, BET.
Be sure to watch Coming to the Stage.
The competition get harder. People I got to worry about.
I know who I got to beat.
JJ.
See what happens. The competition is no joke.
Tuesday nights at 9.
When?
Tuesdays.
At what time?
9 o'clock.
Watch it.
Well, thanks to the interception by the senior Nate Jones, Tuskegee already with a 6-point lead with good field position against Morehouse. Gordon hands off to Lawrence Irvin, and Irvin is really putting yeoman's work for this offense. But let's go back to the interception.
Yeah, and I think Wright, what he did, he dropped back and really kind of read the eyes of Burton. You know, Burton was kind of staring down his receiver. That was one of the things they said, you know, it's something that he needs to work on, is looking off the defenders, and you know, Wright did a great job. He stepped right on in there and literally just picked it off. I apologize, that was Nate Jones, I'm sorry, on the interception. Nate Jones did a great job of reading the eyes of the quarterback, stepping in and making the interception.
4 turnovers for Morehouse to Tuskegee's 1. That's going to be a key stat at the end of the ball game. Again, Irvin with the carry. And check that. Are you saying there's 2 turnovers by Tuskegee?
I believe in the halftime stat rundown, it looked like there was 2 on the board.
Now, that's not it. If you're going to question, now don't question our stat man, Steve Sandler, because Steve's on it now.
I'm merely just looking at it. Okay.
3rd down and short. See, he's throwing numbers at you.
Yes, he is.
That's why Tyler's not saying anything. But let's see. I'll expect these numbers after this round. Irvin with the carry on 3rd down. Looks like he picked up enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, the momentum is definitely swinging in Tuskegee's direction now. You know.
See, the hard thing with arguing with a player about numbers is y'all keep y'all numbers. Oh, yeah. Y'all look at numbers. I mean, I see y'all looking at numbers on the way out of halftime. Like, what's that number look like? What?
That's all I got?
No, I'll be back. Don't worry, I'll be back. That's when you go into the locker room saying, did you see the numbers, QB?
What happened was?
Because I got 1 catch. 1st and 10 now for Tuskegee. Again, Ralph Gordon. He's just a junior. He's the quarterback. He's been doing everything right for this team. This time they try to get to the outside with David Sutherland, the redshirt freshman from Champaign, Illinois, and nothing doing.
Yes, sir.
And so the 3rd quarter is coming to an end. This has been a real good football game, folks, and we still got a lot left. Black College football continues on BET.
This portion of the 67th Annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic is brought to you by Earthlink. Earthlink revolves around you with tools and services to create the internet you want.
On the next How I'm Living, Tiffany says don't hate the player, just check out their game. The Player Special, Wednesday at 9:30.
Start of the fourth quarter. George Johnson, along with Kadri Ismail and the rest of our BET crew as we bring another Southwest Airlines presentation of Black College football. And it will continue next week as we take you down to North Carolina as NC Central and Winston-Salem State go at it. That game will be live on our air. Starts at 7 o'clock. Second down and long. Gordon trying to get away from the defender and nothing doing. Number 52, Adrian Johnson, the junior from Savannah, picking up his second sack of the season.
Yeah, you got to credit. That was good coverage sack right there. You know, again, they're rolling out. And really, you know, he got to the outside edge, but, you know, you got to know your personnel. I don't know if that was the greatest protection when you're looking at a guy, a receiver blocking a linebacker, and that time the receiver lost.
That, of course, was the tight end, Eric Arabofa. He was trying to make the block. Third down now. Plenty of yards to go, and the pass is incomplete as, again, pressure by Morehouse. Credit Morehouse, they only sent 4 people. Looks like they sent 3 people almost, and they were still able to get some pressure on Gordon.
Yeah, and I think Charles Chapman that time, you know, the pressure came through his side, and I just simply think it's a coverage sack. When you don't have anybody to throw you down the field, and you're thinking that you got time, and you know, your guys are, you know, there's a clock going off in their mind is whether or not the ball is still in your hands or whether or not you threw it. And again, Morehouse did a tremendous job on defense holding them when they had an opportunity to put points on the board off that turnover.
So fourth down, Gums is going to punt the ball. He's averaged 45 yards a punt, and this one is another pretty one. Going to bounce inside the 5. Oh, it took a great bounce for Tuskegee. And they're going to down it at the 3-yard line. A 40-yard punt for Travis Gums. Morehouse trails in this one by 6, but they got their backs to the wall.
On the next How I'm Living, Tiffany says don't hate the player, just check out their game. The Player Special, Wednesday at 9:30.
Harold Pinner's Man of Fashion in Virginia Center Commons has done it again. This fall season is where all the new fashions are, and at the most amazing prices in the city. At Harold Pinner's Man of Fashion, you'll find incredible winter bubble coats, only $29, and warm turtleneck sweaters, now $14.95. Leather Parker coats, only $59. Harold Pinner's has the newest designer suits, 2 for $150. You'll find all the new fashions from Sean John, Fat Farm, Timberland, Nike, and Dabucci. Harold Pinner's Man of Fashion in Virginia Center Commons Mall.
You the manager? Officer Rose. Transporting a prisoner here. But the roads are all flooded and I could use a room.
10 strangers are about to discover.
I don't think we can get out tonight.
They're not really strangers after all.
What happened at the motel? People started dying.
Feel the fear. Identity is next on In-Demand Pay-Per-View. This haunting thriller is playing every half hour today on Comcast Digital Cable.
Well, stay tuned at the top of the hour for Jason's Lyric, starring Alan Payne, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Bokeem Woodbine on Black Star Power Cinema. A good movie. We're sitting here talking about. Now you remember that movie, right? I mean, that was a movie where Jada, you know,
that was
she
like
took
her
one in the shoulder,
out,
right?
That was
I'm not trying to ruin it for the people who didn't see it, but,
right?
You know.
Oh yeah.
Did you see it, girl? Homegirl said she saw it.
Oh, they all saw it too.
Yeah, she saw it too.
And Jada Pinkett, she definitely.
It's a hype movie. You're going to want to check it out after today's game. But it's 1st and 10 for Morehouse. They trail by 6. Inside handoff. Tuskegee's defense now starting to pick it up, it looks like. Especially that front 7, that front 8. They really are starting to control the trenches.
Well, I think both defenses, for that matter, you saw the last drive where Tuskegee tried to get, you know, some things going on their offense, and their D-line for Morehouse really stopped them. And now you see, you know, both defenses kind of shifting the momentum. You know, it was kind of like an offensive show before where they were throwing up some deep balls and stuff, but now you're kind of starting to see the defenses take over.
And they were giving up about 21 points per contest, as you saw the graphic, Tuskegee. But they've only given up 7 here, and they are getting very tough down here. As again, defensively, Johnny Williams, number 97, one of the guys there to make the play.
You know, one of the plays I would like to see, just a nice quick 3-step drop and maybe just throw a little hitch to kind of give yourself some breathing room. He has a strong enough arm to be able to do that.
So now here's Ruben Dupree. Ruben is the brother of Raymond Dupree, the wide receiver number 80. Ruben on 3rd down. Shorty gonna try to get to the outside. And Shorty can't, and Big Boy won't let him go. Jordan Brumball chased him down. Brumball 6'4", 262. Ruben Dupree is 5'8", 185, and it was obvious.
Yeah, and I think what they're trying to do is do a little waggle play where you just get to the outside corner. But, you know, as much as,
okay, see, that's enough.
He was helping him up. He was saying, hey, listen.
As a short man, he wasn't helping him up, man. I'm a shorty, man. Look at him trying to hurt Shorty. He's trying to hurt Shorty.
I thought he was trying to help him up. Yeah. I'm 6'1".
I understand that. See, that's how you saw it. But I'm with my man. I'm with Shorty. He's throwing Shorty around. Holy God. So Archibald gonna have to kick deep in his own end zone. He's had 2 punts in this one, averaging 33 in this contest. Not much of a rush as they want to set up the return. And the return man is Henderson. Henderson stopped inside the 35. The Tigers won't let him go. So after the 36-yard punt, 7-yard return, Tuskegee 6-point lead, great field position. We'll see if they can capitalize. Black college football continues on BET. Tuskegee on 1st and 10 with the lead. And now we're going to see how the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse step it up. 1st and 10, not much on that carry. Tuskegee came in, they lost their last 2 games. We saw the loss to Hampton, and they lost to Albany State 31-20. But when you think about their record, they have won 35 of their last 40 games. That's a 3-year span, but 3 of those 5 losses have all come this season, which speaks volumes for how they've dominated this IAC prior to this season.
Absolutely, and every time they've stepped up to play, they come ready to play and produced.
Gordon over the middle. The receiver going to say he had it, and so are the officials. That one almost was picked off. A defender was in great position to make the play, but coming down with the catch is Samuel Brown.
Yeah, and Samuel Brown did a good job of, keep running, getting in the vision of the quarterback. Great throw. It was one of those kind of throws. He's like, oh, okay, good job.
And in concentration for Brown, obviously, to make the catch with the hand coming in.
The hand coming in, the vision, the whole 9 yards. Very good job of Brown. And those are the kind of things you expect out of a senior receiver. When you got that kind of experience, you expect him to make those plays.
1st and 10 inside the 20. And again, they elect to keep it on the ground. And Tuskegee going to be real happy with whatever they do as Gordon with the carry. Tuskegee again leading by 6, and you keep saying to yourself, Morehouse is kind of hanging around. They're down by 6, and it's very important for Rick Comegee's club to get something on the board because Morehouse is one big play away from being in the lead in this football game.
Yeah, and they're real dangerous kind of an offense with their receivers on the outside, and if they do put it up there, it can spell points on the board for them and danger for Tuskegee.
So they keep it on the ground. This time they give it again to Sutherland, the redshirt freshman. Jay Nelson, the senior, defensive tackle, was in on the play. Also that man right there, Jimmy Lane, who has been very active, the redshirt freshman from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Jimmy Lane came in ready to play this game. This is a critical 3rd down in the red zone, knowing you need a stop. You don't want them to get up and put 6 on the board, and hopefully you can just hold them to a field goal.
Sutherland off the pitch. And he dropped the football when he got popped by Harris.
And it looks like Morehouse might have recovered it too.
Robert Harris, the freshman, also from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The former wide receiver came up and unloaded on the running back and forced that fumble. Now, I didn't know former wide receivers could hit like that.
Me neither.
Take a listen to this.
Ooh, O-N-E. Okay.
No, it's not okay. It's supposed to be O.
My eye. I've been blinded. The ball is gone. It's lost. Ooh, laid the smackdown on him. My eye.
So another turnover. We have seen it. But Tuskegee now, 7 turnovers total between both teams. But Morehouse gets the football back, and guess who's back at the helm? Shorty, Ruben Dupree, showing some moves and getting to the outside, picking up about 7 yards on play.
Ah, look at George. George all happy because more Ruben Dupree's in the game.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Just a freshman from Atlanta, Georgia. Now, you talk about the Duprees. They got another one coming to this school, supposedly down the road. But first, let's take a look at Ruben.
Yeah, you know, you see how Ruben last time when he was in the end zone tried to get to the outside. This time, he definitely gets a chance to turn the corner and get upfield. And now, you're looking at a second and short situation. Good job by Ruben on that play.
Now, you look at his size among those big uglies. You said I can call him big uglies.
You can call
look at him among the big uglies.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely behind his O-line. I don't think the defense realized there's 11 guys on the field.
He has actually completed 50% of his passes this season. 19 of 38. Has yet to throw a touchdown pass, but has thrown 3 picks.
Maybe we can go down to our sideline report and they can tell us why DeJuan Burton is on the sideline. Maybe it's just a series rotation. Coach Sism probably has a...
well, he's got a microphone on. Maybe we can give him a headset and he'll talk to you. How's that, Coach? But you want to get answers. You want answers now. Let's put a headset on him so he can talk to you. He's not doing anything right now, is he? They're still trying to sort this thing out. The clock again having some problems. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come right back. Shorty! This portion of the 67th Annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic is brought to you by Singular, the wireless company that fits you the best. Well, they sort things out here. So now here comes Tuskegee on the run. They get going. Throwing it downfield. The pass is gone. Big time catch by Raymond Johnson. He was sitting there talking about Dupree. And Dupree on the run, throw downfield.
Okay.
On the mark for 38 yards.
Okay, again, like what I've been saying all along, when you got receivers who can make plays, get them the ball. This time, I tell you what, Dupree did a tremendous job of heaving that thing down the field. I mean, that wasn't no duck. That was a nice ball, giving Raymond Johnson an opportunity to go up there and big play. When they need a big play, they call on Raymond Johnson, number 19. He's always, I don't use this word a lot, he always delivers.
They said this guy, no matter what he does, would be the best athlete. If he wanted to play football, if he wanted to play basketball, he'd be the best point guard. If he wanted to play baseball, he'd be the best outfielder. Little pass inside. And finally, Lamario Mack comes back on the field. You've been looking for him. On that play, he picks up about 4 yards.
Yeah, and I think, Mack did that great job of exploding through the hole earlier on, and it kind of disappeared. And I would have liked to have seen more exciting runs by this guy. I think he's talented.
Again, Epps has run the ball pretty well for them, at least running hard. Not had a lot of yards, but he's running hard. They still have to get J.D. Washington. They are committed to getting it to him, and yet Coach Systems trying to spread the wealth around. And we've seen a lot of guys make some nice plays today, including his quarterback right now, Ruben Dupree.
I think David Musa is going to have to step up and take a hold of these guys next time the deep ball goes down the field and gets it intercepted.
Inside handoff this time goes Washington. He's going to pick up maybe a yard, setting up 3rd down.
This this secondary, again, talking about Tuskegee secondary with Durham, Nickerson, Leggins, and Musa. You know, again, they're young and they're growing, and obviously Musa's being the leader back there. And of course, Leggins himself is being a senior. But, you know, you look at an opportunity to make a play, and you need to go out there and be in the right position to make that play to secure this lead for you.
Third down. The pre-rolls got a lot of Tuskegee players there waiting to see what he wanted to do, and he did not want to challenge him. Nate Jones, number 58, was the man kind of 5 yards away from him, saying, come on, come on. Meanwhile, Montrese Terry, the big boy, 6'2", 291, was chasing him from behind, saying, let me get you, let me get you.
Yes,
and that brings
indeed.
up a fourth down.
Yes, indeed. And really, I also credit secondary again, as I just pointed out, they needed that stop. That's a third down situation. They did a good job of not allowing him to go down the field and make a big play completion.
So standing back now at his own 10-yard line is Kenneth Henderson, awaiting the punt from Byron Archibald. He's averaging 34 yards of punt coming in on the season, and the three punts, that's what he's averaging, 34 yards per. Nice looking punt right here. Gonna bounce inside the 5-yard line and into the end zone. So Tuskegee again gets the football back, puts the onus on Morris's defense again to make a stop and get the football back to the Maroon Tigers.
Mad Sports, every Saturday at 12 noon.
True. We're back here in Columbus, Georgia. 68th annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic. Yes, we're just rolling along. Just rolling along. Yeah. I formation for Tuskegee. 6-point lead. Gordon with the football. Looking downfield for his receiver. And a good defensive play by the defensive back, Kenyon Maynor, the senior from Topboro, Georgia. They say he's the best defensive back out there. Leads the club in interceptions and shows us why with that play.
That was a very good job of keeping his poise about him. Sometimes defensive backs, they go ahead and shoot their gun off too soon. What I mean by that is they try to make a play on the ball when the ball's not in the air or close enough to them, and the receiver winds up stepping over them and making a great play. This time, Keon Manor did a good job of holding his ground and breaking up that ball.
How about Rick Comagee and crew, though, looking for the big play with the 6-point lead. So now they'll go back to keep it on the ground, give it inside to the halfback, Irvin. Irvin fights for a couple of yards before being missed by a host of Tigers.
Yeah, one of the things that happens on first down, you usually, the defense and a defensive coordinator would normally have it where he's trying to stop the run. He's thinking that you're going to run out the clock. It gives your receivers an opportunity to be one-on-one down the field, and therefore you would try to take a shot down the field knowing that you have, if it isn't complete, you have other downs that you can go ahead and move the chains.
Clock continues to roll as we're under 7 minutes left in the football game. It's now getting to the point now where Morehouse is going to have to make some stops, but more importantly, get something going offensively. Over the middle, live ball, intercepted, and the man is knocked down by his own player. Although Keon Maynor makes the interception and gives Morehouse that play. I told you they were looking for some field position. They are one big play away from taking the lead in this football game. That may have been the break they were looking for.
Yeah, and the 5'11", 190-pound senior Keon Maynor, good job again, being aware where the football's at, not giving up on the play. The ball was tipped up in the air. And Jimmy Lane, again, being all over the field today, literally helped cause that turnover, gives the offense of Morehouse an opportunity to go in and score.
Robert Harris, though, is the man who knocked his own man down. They're a little upset. He could have had a lot more yards. They set up the screen. He's got some blocks. Yes, indeed. This is Washington. And Washington picks up about 9 yards on that play. Looked like he could have gone for a lot more if he had gotten to the outside.
Yeah, and again, now this is a situation where you're, again, approaching that red zone, and whether or not they're going to be able to capitalize. Here you see, again, a little kind of a little screen play action going on. Good job of open field running, followed his blocks to where he needed to go, and got some upfield yardage for a first. Well, actually, for a second and short.
You can see the last 3 drives, just 13 yards. Now Morehouse trying to get something going. That's the first down run right there by Washington. So if they keep it on the ground, keep moving it, let that clock run out, they just might be able to put themselves in position to score some points and leave little time for Tuskegee to counter.
Absolutely. You see Mike Ray Robinson and Billy Wooten. He's going up to that right side of the line and doing the left side of the line and doing a tremendous job at it.
1st and 10 for Morehouse. The ball is at the 15-yard line. Single set formation. If they give it to Malone back, again, that's Washington. So now you got to say to yourself, maybe that's what Coach Sessions is thinking. Let's keep it on the ground. Let's get the yards inch by inch, first down by first down, and let this clock continue to roll. This might be the drive we need to get it because they haven't been able to move it.
You want to get got number 19, Raymond Johnson.
Get it in his hands.
Come on.
Well, with that having been said, you also have Dupree, who's made some plays. Corey Russ has made some plays. Jeremiah Thompson showed you a catch in the first half.
Yes.
That was phenomenal, the wide receiver for the House.
A little quick screen action.
Second down, and again, they pick up good yards. Looks like they may have a first down. They're still on the feet. There's Jeremiah Thompson I talked about.
Yes, that was that little flanker screen again to the outside receiver. And, you know, when you get that kind of a flat pass, what happens is the linemen go out and block the guys, and you kind of come around right underneath them and take it straight up the field. And he did just that, and really good open field running. That was a good job of running with the football by Jeremiah Thompson.
And now look at the substitution. They're bringing in the big boys.
Oh yeah,
they're bringing in the big boys.
We call this heavy. That's Jumbo. Jumbo coming on in. Jumbo's when they get a little bit closer. Right now they got heavy in.
They got heavy. They're gonna spread it a little bit more, huh?
Yeah. See, you got the receiver going out wide. When it's Jumbo, there ain't no receivers in there. Just mano on mano, line on line.
They do have one receiver split to the left, but it's obvious they're gonna keep it on the ground. Washington carried up over. And touchdown! It took a second for us to realize whether he had gotten it in or not, waiting for the official call. But how about that run right there by J.D. Washington?
Nice sweep. Good job of blocking the seat, just a seal block, and players got to go ahead and make the play. Once you cross that goal line, you just cross it. Good job about 79, doing a tremendous job. That's Daniel Kramer of sealing the outside defenders and allowing JD to get around to the corner and making a great job of diving over the top. Crack the goal line for 6.
And the all-important point after is no good. The all-important point after is no good. And Archibald has had his problems place kicking today. That was a bigger miss than he's had all day long. So instead of Morehouse taking the lead, we are now tied at 13 apiece. And Rick Comegy looks at his club and says, yeah, I don't know what he's going to say.
I know exactly what he's talking about. Daniel Kramer, credit 79. Daniel Kramer literally got to the outside guy, sealed the outside guy. But he's telling his guy, he's telling Nate Jones, listen, you guys have to make that adjustment. When you see that overload, you know you're going to have to get outside and not allow the running back to break contain. He broke the contain of the guys by a great job of blocking by Daniel Kramer and allowed John D to get into the touchdown.
And by the way, he was screaming at his senior, Nate Jones, a guy that he has a whole lot of confidence in. A guy that when he came back, he had missed a couple of weeks because he had swelling in the elbow, was forced to miss some games. But when you ask the coaching staff, it's good to have Nate back, right? You hear this big sigh of relief. And yet, even the best sometimes make mistakes in terms of finding where they have to be. But this has been a wild series. Remember last year, they took a late field goal for Tuskegee to get the victory. So now here come the Golden Tigers with the football. On the return, they're going to get it out close to the 20. 17-yard return.
You kind of see the energy getting back into the Morehouse side, where the Tuskegee side is not as energetic. I think they're going to have to say, listen now, you know, we've been controlling this game as well. They stopped us, and yeah, they got a turnover, but you know, they got to feel the confidence level of what they've done so far anyway, and continue on. Don't allow the momentum of the game to go out of your favor. Keep the momentum. Get a good drive. You got a lot of time on the clock. Put what's on the board. Seal the victory for yourself.
Byron Aaron Archibald, the kicker, being consoled. He was 13 of 14 with point after pitch prior to that miss, and it was a big one. This pass is completed outside to Samuel Brown, who makes a couple of nice nifty moves to pick up a first down.
Good job of getting into the hands of your reliable senior.
And there again is your kicker. You know he's going to be feeling this, but I would assume he's got to get this out of his mind. They could put him in a position where he may have to kick again.
Yeah, and wisely, you see, Coach Sissom, you know, he's saying, listen, you know, you're going to come back and you're going to have to give us an opportunity to win this game. Don't put your head down. Don't feel like, you know, the world is lost. You know, it's going to be a situation where we're going to need you late. You get your special teams coach to go over there and give you some pointers on exactly how to make the proper adjustment to get that kick through the uprights.
Meanwhile, Ralph Gordon had it wide open. He has two receivers on either side, going to try to get the outside. Dragged down by Reuben Morris after picking up about 4 yards.
Good pursuit again by Morehouse.
You can see rushing yards, 7 carries for 38 yards for Ralph Gordon. But it was obvious that they wanted to open this thing up and get it downfield as we approach 3 minutes left here in the football game. 13-13 tie between two teams who have been playing each other since the turn of the century. Gordon passes complete to number 84, Williams. Williams has made some great catches today. That one was just as big as he gets a first down. But the clock continues to roll. Under 3 minutes.
I think right now what they're going to have an opportunity to do is kind of slow things down in a, not necessarily in a hurry-up offense mindset, but they're not going to go and huddle. So it's going to be a no huddle, take your time, let's control the clock, but also let's keep the defense off balance.
Again, shotgun formation. Pass is way over the head of his intended receiver, Kenny Anderson.
That's one of the first couple of bad passes you saw by Gordon since the first drive of the game.
Meanwhile, for Harry Williams, the wide receiver, he has 4 receptions for 48 yards. I would suggest that most of these guys have 2, 3, 4 receptions. We've seen a couple of guys.
He's definitely done a good job of spreading it out.
Rick Comagee
against us.
Been coaching for 28 years. 4 SIAC titles to his credit here at Tuskegee.
I think he's been in some close games.
Gordon over the middle, completes it to Irvin. Screen was set up perfectly. He gets a first down before being knocked down by Lynn Freeman, the linebacker.
You're going to have to credit Freeman on making a good open field tackle because he had a lot of open field. This right here is a situation where you know Morehouse is going up the field and doing a lot of aggressive rushing in your face. You counteract that with a screenplay, and again, heads up by Freeman because all you saw by Irvin was open space and he was thinking 6.
4 players with 2 or more receptions for Tuskegee, really spreading it around is Ralph Gordon. Got another first down. They're in Morehouse territory at the 40. Shotgun again. Whipped and intercepted by Lane. And how about the play of Jimmy Lane, who's done a good job pressuring the quarterback and comes up with a huge interception. Jimmy Lane, a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, and here you go. They're in this soft cover 2 zone, and Jimmy Lane just stays and maintains his poise. Doesn't get shaken by the 3 stop. The steps in his lane and picks off the ball.
Yeah, well, Lane's supposed to be in his lane.
Lane did a fine job of making sure and creating a big play for the guys. Lane's just been making big play after big play.
I hear you, young boy. I hear you. So now here comes Morehouse with an opportunity. Under 2 minutes left. As they hand it off inside. Give it to Washington. He picks up a couple of yards. And dare I say where we're headed, folks. I don't want to say it. We've been there before this season. But this one has been a close one throughout.
You see Gordon looking at it saying, I wish I had that one back. I know that it was soft coverage. If I could have waited for my receiver to to go into the second hole. He didn't have that first hole. Lane was obviously there. But if he would have waited to that second hole, there was a lot of room in that zone coverage.
Gordon has thrown the ball with so much confidence in this game. He is even testing D-backs. We've seen his receivers make great catches. Again, they set up the screen, but this time nothing doing. The linebacker there to make the play was Marcus Wright. They had the screen set up. Everybody was fooled except for Wright on that play.
Yeah, good job, Marcus Wright, reading his keys, recognizing that, wait a minute, you guys aren't setting us up for a screen, are you? Because if you are, I'm about to hit you.
They lost yard on that play.
Good job reading his keys. You recognize when the game is real critical, you don't want to do any freestyling, you don't want to do anything foolish. Recognize what the offense is doing, react to it, be aggressive, make the play. Marcus Wright did just that.
So again, Morehouse, who really has struggled this season. Their only win coming against Johnson C. Smith, 39-21, a couple of weeks ago. They're coming off a loss to Kentucky State. But this is one of those games, I mean, we think of some of the great rivalries in football. I know, being from the D.C. area, Navy, Army. Navy could be 0-9, and if they beat Army, it's a great season for them. Successful. And this is the kind of win that if Morehouse can get, it really would lift the spirits of this team despite what their record is right now.
And you got to believe Coach Sisson is telling his boys, hey, we need this drive, maintain your poise. It's 3rd and 10. If they're gonna pass it, make sure he's telling the receivers, make sure you get the depth that you need to get the first down. Make a good throw. You see Burton has to go ahead and step up and make a good throw. Conversely, with Coach Comagese, I'm telling you, he's telling his boys, get up in his face and make him make a pass.
3rd down. They go to the outside. Give it the pass. The man is still on his feet. That's Jeremiah Thompson with that 4-3 speed. Still a possession receiver, though, Cosby. Still a possession receiver and gets a first down.
Wow, great call by Coach Sisson. He had everybody lined up to the right of the screen, 3 wide receivers, 1 receiver out. He did a little flanker screen, and literally you talk about Jeremiah Thompson making something out of nothing to run on 3rd and 10 to get that first down. Tremendous job of running.
4 receptions for Thompson for 65 yards. Another one of those receivers with multiple catches.
This is what I'm talking about when I say you have playmakers on the outside, George.
Yes, you did.
Get it to your playmakers.
Both teams have had the ball 9 times in this second half, or total, and have been 5 turnovers from both teams, each. And then for the game, you take a look at it, Tuskegee with 5 turnovers, Morehouse has 4 actually. They have just battled each other. It's like those are the kind of things that nullify or that bring everything down to equal.
Absolutely.
Burton was rushed on that one and had to get rid of the football. His intended receiver was Raven Dupree.
Yeah, in that time they had a situation where we're going to bring the blitz. We're going to make you a little bit uncomfortable back there in the pocket. And good job by Tuskegee defensive front to make sure that there was nothing happening there. Ramon Nickerson doing a good, fine job playing some football there. Solid defense.
So 2nd down now and 10. Morehouse with under a minute left, a half minute left. Can they get themselves at least in field goal range and give their kicker yet another chance? Looking to the outside, had a wide open receiver who had got behind the defenders, but he overthrew it.
Yeah, that was a little corner route, and he did do a good job of running the route. Wide open, did not allow himself to set his feet and make a good throw to his receiver. Burton is going to look at that one and say, I missed on that opportunity to make a downfield throw.
Hey! Check red! So now here we are in 3rd down situation. We're not in 2-down situation. We're not in 2-down territory, are we?
Well, actually,
I mean, with
4-down territory.
With 4 down, excuse me.
With 24 seconds left, you're going to have to take a couple of shots.
So this is 3rd and 10. Burton, complete to Johnson. And Johnson picks up another first down at the 26-yard line.
They got to get him to the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to try to spike the football.
19 seconds left. They're going to start him as soon as they spot the football. And Burton spikes it. Going to make it 2nd and 10 at the 26. So now we're looking at what, we're looking at a 43-yard field goal.
Good clock management by Morehouse, not allowing excess time to run off the clock, really fishing with the football. Gotta be thinking to yourself,
how many yards?
I'm Archibald. I'm thinking to myself, I gotta go ahead, go through my process of how I'm gonna get this field goal. I know I'm gonna have an opportunity, and they're gonna present it to me. I gotta make the most of it.
Last year, he kicked the field goal for 42 yards. It's his career high. This one is complete. Johnson again getting to the outside. He can't stop the clock, and it's going to continue to run under 10 seconds.
They call timeout wisely.
So he picked up 5 yards on that play.
Archibald's on the sideline by himself, kind of contemplating what he needs to go through.
About 9 seconds.
Is that by design? You leave him alone, right? You leave him alone. Look at him. He's walking all the way down. He's back at the 25. He's practicing.
There you go. I don't even want to look at what you guys are doing. I just want to go through my routine. Notice he's standing right at the spot where on the other side he's going to have to kick it as far as the length or the I'm so excited I don't even know what I'm saying. All I know is Archibald right now needs to just calm down and make a good kick.
Now, as for the rest of the team, do they leave him alone? Do they tell you, do not talk? Do not say anything to him? As you take a look at the wind, it's not ferocious, but it is blowing somewhat.
It's actually in his favor. It looks like the wind is blowing in his favor, and he should have an opportunity to make a sound kick.
Well, he's 0 for 2. He's missed from 33 and 37.
This is over.
But he
you call timeout.
Okay, Coach Sism is saying, listen, field goal, get your butts up, get ready, let's do this. We got a timeout. You know they're going to take a shot in the end zone to seal the deal.
It looks like they have under 10 seconds left. They have enough time to take that shot in the end zone.
If he's wise with the football, he should have enough time.
Okay. So here's Burt. The step drop. Defense converges.
They need to call timeout. They need to call timeout.
And so now they're going to make the timeout. But give Burton credit. He was able to at least get back to that line of scrimmage without losing even more yards and making this more difficult for his kicker, Byron Archibald. So Archibald now going to come on the field. He's missed 2 field goals, but he has a chance to leave this stadium the hero despite the 2 misses if he can convert on this field goal. It looks like it's going to be 40 yards away. His longest of the season is 34, but like I said, last year he kicked one from 42 yards out. So he does have the leg. Morehouse, who has won just 1 game all season long, looking for help from Archibald. Kick up is no good. And the Morehouse players came running out like it was good. Get off the field.
Looks like you had a little premature celebration going on.
I mean, the players from Morehouse saw the distance. They just didn't see how accurate it was.
Yeah, it looked like it was up. It was good. Yeah. He had the old case of hitting the golfer's terminology. Wow, from that angle,
it looked good.
But from our other camera angle, you can clearly see it.
From that angle, it looked good.
From that angle, it did look good, but the referees had a better
We got one time out. I'm in Tuskegee.
Wow. Let's take another look one more time, Kaji. Come on. It doesn't look good.
From this angle, our guys in the truck are playing mind games with me. They play a Jedi mind trick with me. That one looks like it was good. Looks like he hit a nice little draw. In the golfer's terminology, he hit a nice little draw right to the upright.
It was still in the fairway, man. It was still in the fairway. That kid was still in the fairway. As you can see, Coach Sessoms, he's still out on the field. He wants to make sure that everything is correct. He wants to know timeouts.
This is overtime now. He has to strategize and make sure everything is going well with his team so he can make the proper adjustments.
Well, time for our fantastic move of the game, brought to you by Singular, the wireless company that fits you the best. And it's got to be the up and over by J.D. Washington. The touchdown for Morehouse tied this football game up at 13 apiece.
Kind of did a little 360 in the air there and scored.
But now the focus is on their kicker, Byron Archibald, and his inability to put it through the goalpost. We'll have more after this.
Well, it is tied up at 13 apiece, but you got this feeling that Morehouse feels deep down they should have had this football game. They have had some problems, and I'll explain it to you in a second, but they're ready to start overtime, and Morehouse gets the football first. Little play action pass for Burton. Burton looking in the end zone, and no one was open. But again, Morehouse has got to be upset as we take a look at their opportunities they've had. They've had 4 turnovers in this game. They've got 3 field goals from 33, 37, and 40. This is the last field goal that it looked close from that angle. It looks like it was no good. But also keep in mind that their field goal kicker, Byron Archibald, also missed an extra point. So he has had his problems. Morehouse could have had this win if he had connected on just one of them. Inside play, and the handoff goes to Washington, and he is stuck. Let's take a look now as we are in overtime at the rules. Coin toss, the options go, you can either go offense, defense, or defend the goal. Now each team gets the possession at the opponent's 25, and he keeps maintaining possession until he can't get a first down or doesn't score. Teams must go for 2-point conversion, beginning with the 3rd overtime. So you can kick an extra point after the first 2, but after that, you've got to go for 2. Rick Homagee's club is on the defensive side of the football, but it is 3rd down and 10. They make a stop right here. Oh, they try a little trickery as they go back to the quarterback, and he falls down on one knee. It was a good idea. He had a lot of people in front of him, but unfortunately, DeJuan Burton could not maintain his feet, and it'll be 4th down.
That was the play where they threw it last time down the field. It was a little throw to the receiver and allow him to throw it down the field. This time, if Jeremiah Thompson would have been able to throw it over to Burton, he had a slew of guys and a lot of open field to take it down the field.
Now, you got to keep one thing in mind as they blow the whistle right here. It's starting to occur to me that if this becomes a battle of place kickers, the advantage is probably in this man's hands right here, and Rick Homagee, because Travis Gum is one of the best kickers in all the conference.
Okay, now you're looking at Coach Homagee's. He's saying who's on the team. You got to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You only got 9 guys right there, and he's trying to straighten out, make sure he has 11 guys on the field goal. Yesterday, when they were out there practicing, they had some personnel problems as far as getting the right guys out in the field for special teams. He doesn't want to have that happen this time. He had to burn a timeout just to make sure. I'm sure Archibald's thinking, oh, they just called that timeout to ice me.
Yeah. And that was so far from the case, huh? And you commented on that. I mean, you sat there and you said to me, you said they don't look special teams-wise as intense as they should be, especially the day before the game.
Absolutely, and the coaches were really harping on them. Listen, we got to get the right personnel in here. You got to know your job. Sometimes, guys take special teams for granted. However, every 3rd play is a special teams play. You have to be right there and ready because you never know. Most of your big plays can happen on special teams.
Archibald going to attempt a 49-yarder. No, they're going to fake it. On the roll. Pass complete, but they don't convert. It was a fake as Dupree was the holder. Completed the pass, but comes up short. And now all Tuskegee has to do is get themselves in position to set up their field goal kicker, Travis Gums, who has hit 7 of 9. In fact, kicked a field goal today. 1 from 33, 1 from 30. So he actually has 2 field goals today. And you heard him. He said, we're already in field goal range. Oh, there's no yard.
Listen. All I know is I got my boy Gums right there about to kick it through the upright. Don't you be messing around now. Don't be trying to go ahead and lose yards just to get some more stats.
His longest this year is from 41. If he were to kick from where they are right now, it would be a 42. But they'll get some yards. If they can, well, maybe they won't. Morehouse's defense up to the task on that one.
Morehouse had an opportunity to go ahead and, as you see Gums here warming up to just, he has a very powerful leg, and it looks like he has a brace on his knee, which, surprisingly, you don't normally see that with a kicker, but again, he makes it work. Maybe it's kind of like a bionic leg attachment thing that kind of gives him that extra boost. I'm trying to make the sound effect, but yeah, I mean?
And again,
we can rebuild.
Last year, he kicked the field goal with 7 seconds left.
We can make a fine
game
kick
between these two that would secure the victory for Tuskegee. Second down over the middle. Oh! And almost intercepted. It was in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, and Robert Harris had a chance to give Morehouse the football back.
That was a pass and a half by Gordon. He just knifed it right in there.
Oh, look at that pass. That's a receiver's dream.
That's a receiver's dream. It's a nice little seam route where the receiver just goes right down the seam. It's up to the quarterback to make a good throw. That was a good throw. It was in and out of the hands of his receiver, Ken Norton, and
he was with, by the way, Gordon goes over and talks to James Woody. You got to give credit to James Woody because he has been patient with this offense. He's taken a lot of heat from the Tuskegee because they have had problems moving the O. He's been telling folks, stick with me. Ralph Gordon's going to be a good one. Looks like he was right. Gordon has been good. Gordon going to keep the football. And you're jumping all over the place because he had 5 receivers wide open.
No, he had one so wide open that if he had just flipped it to him backwards, he would have walked into the end zone on his hands and knees. That was, oh my goodness, Morehouse got away with a very, very good defensive stop right there because Gordon wasn't able to set his feet and see his open receiver downfield.
So here we go. Travis Gomes going to attempt one from 39 yards out. He's hit one from 33, 30. He's already hit a 39-yarder this season and a 41-yard. Kick and fly! Football game as the Maroon Tigers come up with a huge play, and even Denzel says, shoot,
remember the Tigers?
We're still in this thing. We're still in this thing.
That was a great, look at the leaping ability. Oh my, that's a half.
That looks like that was the middle linebacker, Andre Warren, number 46.
Warren.
He got 200. It was that Lane. That couldn't have been.
No, that was Warren.
That looked like it was Warren, number 46.
All 240 pounds of him just leaping up in the air, balling. Andre Warren.
Who again, they say may be the best linebacker in SIAC from Phoenix City, Georgia, right across the river.
Yeah, big-time players come up with big plays right there. That was a huge play by Andre Warren. Show your 4-inch vertical, brother man.
And correct, that's Alabama, Phoenix City, Alabama, still right across the way. I've been getting all kind of help here today. Steve, got to take time. Steve Sandler, our statistician, been doing a great job. Victor Womack, our spotter, he's the homeboy. He corrects me every time I make a mistake. He just pulls me aside and says, "Listen, man, don't you misrepresent down here. You better handle your business." So here we go, another overtime, our second overtime. And I think Tuskegee made a little too overconfident about that last one. They said, you remember they were saying, we're in field goal range already. So if you don't move the ball, don't move the ball. And maybe that should have been the last attitude they should have taken on that last one.
Well, I tell you what.
Welcome to cable.
Yes. I tell you what, I think Coach Comagee's, is sitting there saying, if my line could have only protected for a split second longer, Rob Gordon had his receiver, Ken Norton, streaking down the middle of the field for an easy touchdown. This game would have been over. You see him just rallying his guys, saying, hey, wait a minute, this game ain't over with yet. We got to make sure we maintain our poise, make sure we know our assignments. Let's do this.
And let's take nothing for granted.
Absolutely.
Again, like I said, to say your field goal kicker is already in range might have been the bad message to send to his team because they need to think about getting football downfield.
And now, George, I don't know if we can get a shot of the flags again, but now the win, they're going into the win this time. So as far as field goal-wise, it's not a galing. Flags aren't sitting there, stiff as a board. However, there is some wind, I should say, some currents coming in. They're going to be kicking into the wind, so that'll be interesting.
First down, and taking the snap this time for Tuskegee. That was, it looked like number 6 on the carry, which would be James Lewis, the wide receiver.
I mean, it direct snap to James Lewis. I think right now they probably saw something as a offensive coordinator, probably just wanted to kind of have like a quarterback draw, if you will, and that's something where, you know, you just hopefully get a big play out of it.
Well, they picked up 7 yards. As again, you see Travis Gums. Gums is a 3 punts block, but still trying to see if he had any field goal block. Don't see it. Inside handoff this time goes to Urban as Gordon goes back to the helm. This young man right here, Lawrence Irvin, I mean, he is a guy they consider to be the total back, a guy that is very shifty, he's tall, he finds the holes, but then again, he can come out of the backfield and make catches. They really like this young man, Lawrence Irvin, just a junior from Jonesboro. 1st and 10. Tuskegee this time with convention, going to move the football down as far as they can before setting up Gums. As Irvin takes the handoff. Testing that right side of the defensive line. That means they're taking it right to Robert Kilpatrick, the senior.
Fatigue starts setting in. Dehydration starts setting in when you're looking at overtime. Mentally, you got to stay with it, hoping that you don't make any foolish mistakes. This is where you're conditioning. See who has the best conditioning and who has the best as far as offensively and defensively.
Gordon didn't like what he saw. He had 2 receivers split to the left in Brown and Williams, but he calls a timeout. As you take a look at the timeout situation, Morehouse still with 1. And there's James Woody, that offensive coordinator I told you about.
Apparently, Cortland Florence might have lined up in the wrong spot. Again, you talk about fatigue. That mental fatigue is a big factor in these overtime games, George. And you're looking at the second overtime and whether or not you're going to be able to sustain long enough to win this game.
So while we've got a break on the field, we'll take one here. We come back, it's overtime. Tied up at 13-1 situation. Another Southwest Airlines presentation of black college football, and we bring you yet another barn burner. We're in overtime. Rick Comedy's Tuskegee Golden Tigers tied up with the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse. Inside handoff, Cortland Florence. And there's Florence, the man who is really struggling from injury, battling that shoulder injury and yet busting through that line.
Yeah, and you get yelled at by your offensive coordinator, and all of a sudden your offensive coordinator back his mind saying, okay, I just yelled at him. I got him mad. Maybe I'll give him the ball, see what he can do.
Other than that, or is that all it took? A little screaming? There he is again screaming. Let me try this again. I'm screaming too. Now you gotta go play.
You're seeing a lot of intensity, George, on both sidelines.
Florence with 6 carries for 14 yards. That was his first carry since the first half. 1st and goal. Inside, Gordon tries to go over top and nothing doing. Andre Warren, number 46, leading the charge. But credit that defensive line for getting down lower than the offensive line.
Yeah, and again, you know, you saw how they were getting abused a little bit by getting that running game going down there. But nah, I think we're going to hold right here. Andre Warren and crew definitely held on that play.
Here comes Gordon again, 2nd and goal. His lone setback is Cortland Florence. He gets the football again. The Tigers come up strong defensively and they have turned the football over. They put the other way.
They might be saying it's down by contact.
Uh-oh.
No, they're not.
The players are running this way like they got the football back.
White ball, white ball.
White ball here. And you can see the frustration on the side is Cortland Florence, what looks like to be his 2nd fumble of the football game. And the senior
ladies and gentlemen, the most valuable players for this afternoon's contest for Tuskegee.
6 turnovers for Tuskegee. And a senior feeling real bad.
Okay.
That was
Chad Allen. Chad Allen knifed in there and got his helmet on the football. You know, coaches sometimes in the heat of the moment don't realize some fumbles just you were careless with the football, but at the same time, the other team is on scholarship too. That was a good play by Chad Allen, knifing in there and getting his helmet on the football.
Turnovers are the theme of this football game. 10 of them in all. Tuskegee with 6, Morehouse with 4. Quarterback draws. Now the Maroon Tigers with opportunity. And that is your quarterback.
Okay, George.
Burton.
No, George. No. You have Dupree, Russ, Johnson, Pittman. You got doggone Jeremiah Thompson balling. All these ballers on the outside. Why not throw it up to them? You got my boy Mack, who I have not seen, but twice in the game made positive yards every time he touched the ball. Can a brother get some love there?
Again, I will tell you, he has said, if you pass the football,
I'm not listening to you.
And 2 of them are bad.
It's overtime. Get the
There's Johnson on the carry. 2nd down and 9. Look, he's doing good things with that. He's doing good things.
He did good things. However, Raymond Johnson has done some good things. Corey Russ has done some good things.
Yes, they have.
Number 8, Jeremiah Thompson has done some good things.
Now here they are, 3rd down situation, because they've got to be thinking, hey, listen, let's move this football. You got to have confidence in the kicker, right? I mean, that's the question now, is they may have to turn to him yet again. He's already missed 3 field goals, an extra point, but they have to get it to him. So I would assume they're going to try to keep this football on the ground in the middle of the field and move as close as they can.
Yeah, they're spreading out the defense, but you're right, they might be going ahead and giving it. In the backfield. Come on, do something with it.
And he loses yards. Lamario Mack on 3rd down and 1.
Nate Jones did a good job.
Too much dance.
Nate Jones did a good job of just coming in there, being aggressive. You know, he took down one of my playmakers.
You see, I started to talk about the dancing and how Kadri came back and said, no, don't you dare blame that on dancing.
No.
That was that middle linebacker making a great play.
Yes, indeed. And Nate Jones came in as a senior middle linebacker doing a tremendous job of holding him.
So here comes Archibald. He's setting it up. It's at the 29. That makes it a 39-yard field goal. He's missed already 3 from 33, 37, 40. Kicks up. It's not going to have enough to get there. And what a game, folks. And this young man, Byron Archibald, he's just got to be feeling miserable right now. He's had opportunity after opportunity, and the senior has been unable to capitalize.
The wind picked up on that one, George. I see the flags blowing harder.
Yes, they are blowing. The wind has picked up.
The wind. Archibald, you know, the wind. See, the wind. Like that. There. Yes.
Too bad he was kicking. He was kicking that way, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we move to another overtime.
Exactly.
But now we're going to our 3rd overtime, which you know what that means. There's no more
conversion.
So Archibald now, you don't need me.
Okay, good. Y'all done with me? Good. Okay, I'm taking my helmet off.
And this game continues to move on, but you wouldn't have expected anything different from 2 teams playing each other for the 94th time.
Go for 2. Hey, look. No timeouts on either side, right? We get another one? Okay. Because we didn't use any. And how many they got?
Wow.
They will have 3 also.
Okay. So they're saying they have 3 apiece when it comes to timeouts. My statistician, Steve Sandler, is telling us that can't be correct, but the officials are saying that they carry over if you don't use them.
We need this.
All I know is don't mess around with the stat man.
I wouldn't mess with him.
Don't mess with him. He got that pen in his hand. He start writing now. Come on.
Hey, baby.
Okay, so here comes Morehouse. They get first crack on this possession. Burton is your quarterback.
Is Burton going to do what I tell him to do and throw it up to his
J.D. Washington and Aaron Epps are his tailbacks.
He's not going to throw it to his ball.
To Washington, and Washington picks up maybe a yard on that one.
I think the stop was Marcus right on that play.
Again, John David Washington, the sophomore, he's California. He has had a hard time getting anything going in this football game. Tuskegee, you got to credit their defense. They really have honed in on him and not allowed him too much running. He had one great run in the first half, but it came back because of penalty. 2nd and 9. Burton got a good block from Washington and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. That doesn't happen too often, going in and out of the hands of Aaron Epps, who has shown us the ability to catch the football.
Again, when you talk about the third overtime, you see here in your picture the pressure coming up. That really is a situation where fatigue starts setting in and you start doing things that you don't normally do. Dropping balls is one of those things that Epps is not familiar with. Normally has sure hands. Now he's getting a little bit more fatigued.
Meanwhile, our statistician has done his homework, checked on the report, and it says you get 1 timeout in each round, none carryover. That's NCAA rules.
I told you that pin. I'm telling you,
third down.
Pin.
Burton over the middle. Ball's live and incomplete. The pass was intended for Raymond Johnson, but this time Tuskegee finally got on and had 2 guys covered.
Yes.
He took him 4 quarters. But they finally realized, I think we need to D-kid up and maybe double team him.
Okay, let's see what Archibald can.
He's coming
round jump again.
Systems, credit Systems with staying, confident in this guy, or at least staying with him, staying persistent.
He's saying the averages got to work in my favor.
This one now will be good. Will be attempted from 41 yards out. Kicks out, got a little room to win. Kick is good. And look at Byron Archibald.
Averages was with him.
Oh, listen to him. Sorry about the other ones. And sometimes you folks are wondering what they're saying to each other when they get close up and start to hugging. That was a perfect example as the kicker. He knew it. He came up to us. He said, I'm sorry about the other ones, but this one is for you. We're going to take a quick commercial break. So Morehouse hits the field goal from Byron Archibald, lead by 3. Overtime continuing. Morehouse just got themselves a 41-yard field goal from Byron Archibald, and now Tuskegee has a chance to answer. A field goal ties it, extends overtime, a touchdown gives Tuskegee the win. And Lawrence Irvin with the carry on 4th down. He picks up 3 yards.
You got to believe Gums is sitting there saying, okay, you did a good job of kicking that one through, but I believe I have a better leg than you do right now. I think I make this one too. Kickers are all about confidence and psyching themselves up and psyching the other opponent out.
So it's a game within the game.
It's a game within the game, yes.
I formation, 2 receivers split to the left. Gordon gonna keep it, gonna fake it, gonna hold on to it, pick up 1st down yards with the carry. That's the first time we've seen Ralph Gordon run the option in that nature. We've seen some option type things, but that's the first time you really saw him grab it, do a little faking with it, and keep it.
Yeah, again, I've been there where those overtimes happen, and as those overtimes happens, fatigue sets in, and normally the better conditioned team gets a chance to make opportunities. Right there, they didn't have an opportunity to stop him and took advantage of it.
We are in our 3rd overtime. Tuskegee again, looking for 6. You see Ralph Gordon, he's rushed for 50 yards. Throwing the ball well. Irvin looking to get to the outside. Good blocking. And knocked down at about the 6-yard line by Robert Harris. But boy, the blocking really developed for him very well on that left-hand side of the offensive line.
Yeah, they did a good job of seal blocking on that one, allowing him to get sprung to the outside. You see right now this great seal block on the outside and allows Irvin to go ahead and set up and just bounce it to the outside. It's just a little bit of an inside bounce out, and look at that great seal. Allows him to get to the corner. Good upfield running by Irvin.
Second, they can still get a first down before scoring. Look like a broken play. He dropped the football. Morehouse on the on it. Morehouse recovers, and they win the football game. Recovery by Jane Nelson. Jane Nelson recovers the football, and Morehouse with their first conference win of the season. And they have now beaten Tuskegee 2 of the last 3 years. A huge win for the Maroon Tigers. Tuskegee's 7th turnover. 5th fumble recovery for Morehouse. And it secures the victory.
Yeah, and again, you know, it looks like it was a misdirection.